Of course, we gotta play the theme. Well, first I gotta play the Gamers United Guild. Then we gotta play the theme. Hey everybody, welcome! It is Thursday night! Oh, hold on, I didn't mean to play that yet. That's coming soon. It's alright, it's okay. It's a thing to come. So, hey.
I hear that music, I was getting all pumped up!
I know, man! Oh, he brought his guitar!
I know that song!
Telling you, I'd learned how to play it on the keyboard.
We wrote that, it must have been 35 years ago I wrote that song. Even though, because we wrote that song before it was ever in the game. That was a song, I was in a band. We were called Diamonds in the Rough. Diamonds with a Z. And you can actually look us up on YouTube. We have some stuff like when I was a teenager. And we toured all around and we thought we were going to be big rock stars. And we wrote that song back in the day. That song actually had lyrics in it, actually. Yeah.
You told me that. I'm going to go find them.
Oh, I'm going to send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Oh, yes.
So, I had the mullet and everything. It's classic stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that chat room. That chat room is hopping. God, I love these folks.
Yeah.
And hey, Retro Bros in the house.
My boy, my paisan.
Yeah, I'm gonna teach him. I'm gonna teach him how to do this. What we do here with the different Skype windows. I got you, brother. So, welcome everybody. Hey, by the way, let me know if you guys hear me okay. I'm doing something a little different with the microphone. Actually, something that Tommy knows about, hanging the microphone upside down, especially when you sing.
I thought you were sticking it up your butt.
No, not tonight. But
okay. You said you were doing something different.
Not a little different. How about just hanging it upside down? So let me know if you can hear me okay. Can't hear HTK. Stop it. Stop. So, oh, man. Crew, what is going on tonight? Generational Gamer. He's here. What's up, Jay?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey!
Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here in your presence.
Yeah. Man.
Second time on, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
second and a half.
Okay.
Second and a half. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me do. I know why. Hold on. I got it.
Uh-oh.
The guests are doubling, but they won't anymore. Got it. Thank you. I had to re-add somebody in, and whenever you do that, it doubles the voice in Skype, and in OBS just had to remove them. Thank you guys. So you should not be echoed anymore. Say something,
Echo,
Jay.
echo.
Hello.
Yo, check 1, 2 in the house. Yo.
Let's go.
So J Prime, how you been, man? It's 2.5 times is what it really is, because you and I did a little special show a couple months back when I bought my M Classic.
Yeah, and you're still liking it, right?
I am still loving it. In fact, I've been playing Max Payne the last couple nights in the OG Xbox, and it looks phenomenal in 1080p. I just gotta say it.
If you have, I mean, I'm a big fan of Hydro Thunder. If you have that on the Xbox and part of the Midway Classic, put the M Classic on and give it a try.
I don't, but I have. I have Hydro Thunder Hurricane on the Xbox One.
So do I. But it's try the original one. You'll be surprised how good it looks. I mean, you could do it on the Dreamcast too. It's the Dreamcast port, even though I understand butchered it a little bit.
Very true.
On the arcade classics.
I'll have to give that a try. So tell everybody how. Oh man, they're starting early. Peter, you're up.
I'm up for what?
Look at the chat.
An award.
Huh?
Look, stop playing the Call of Duty beta. Look at the chat.
Oh, I was still typing and greeting people.
Thank you very much. Where did Chris go? I know. Hey, great interview with you and Retro Bro a couple nights ago. I really enjoyed that. It was last night, actually, wasn't it? Yeah. And there is, speaking of Cyrus, there he is. Cyrus just entered the chat. Yeah, I just watched his video while I was prepping. It's Oh, hang on. It said hold on. Now I'm hearing that you're muted. What the hell is going on? What is going on? Hang on. I know. What? Hang on. Something's actually... Well, hang on, because something is up with the... Give me a second, guys. Something might be up. Say something now.
Yo, check 1, 2. Can you hear
All right,
me?
let me check. Something might be up with... That might be Skype doing that. Hang on a second. Yep, that's what that is. That's Skype doing it. Okay, I think we're okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think we're okay.
All right, I see Level 1 online. My buddy, I haven't talked to him in a while. I got to get back on his show. We got Atari Creep, Big Daddy Game Studio. I love him. We have a lot of great conversations in the Atari age. There's Anthem, Go Game Go, or like I say, Goga Mego Show. We got Michael Monkey Punch in the Nuts. I like that. Lance Jennings in the house, and
That's
Television
my brother,
Master.
And
Mike,
hold on real quick. Daredevil Dave Dahl. That man, he's coming out. He's going to come on next week and hang out with us. Retromania Wrestling finally put that man. That's the guy. Retromania finally put that man in the game. I'm so happy. I'm serious, man. I'm so happy for him. So friggin' happy for him. He has been pining for that for how long, guys? As long as we've known him. Yeah. And he got in there. So I'm so happy for him. So,
Relic Gamer in the house.
Mike Bourne.
You
know what?
Game.
I'm glad everybody's
Atari
here.
Creep. I saw Atari Creep had a great video out today. I recommend everybody checking it out.
Yep. Stinky Baby, Back from the Dead, man. These
awesome.
Are our peeps.
Thank you, Level 1. Let's do it. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So, Chris, you're okay over there? You're back?
I don't know. Just computer decided to crash.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's really great. Great.
Computers do.
So
I do.
All right. Well, how you doing, man? You and that epic beard of yours. That's a great hat you got on.
Thank you. I couldn't find my other great hat, the NLG one, but it's been a great week. Busy at work, but I'm off tomorrow, so even better. The show's even better now.
Very nice.
I don't have to worry about going in early.
What you been playing?
Not much this week. I played a little, during the weekend. I did some indie games like Raji and a couple others, that I streamed, but not much. So especially since I'm off tomorrow, I'll be getting back at it.
All right.
Probably some Wasteland 3 and Raji.
Cool. I will be.
Yep.
I'll be checking that out if you stream any more of that. So,
Yeah.
And then my brother from another mother. He's in the game. He's here in the podcast. Brother Peter, how you doing, man? How are you?
Good. Year older, but
Oh, that's right.
Right.
yeah.
You have a
Happy
birthday?
Yes.
It's Tuesday. Was my birthday.
Tuesday.
So,
Wow.
Happy birthday.
What year? What year would you turn?
I'm a 72er. I didn't turn 72, but
You born
1972.
1972.
yes,
Yep.
I am.
That was the year my sister was born. She was born on October 10th, 1972. So,
Okay.
right
Yeah, it was 3 days later.
3 days later. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and always a month older than, or a year and a month older than me.
Hopefully wiser too, but
Well, that goes without saying.
yeah.
So
They say time will tell. I guess that's that year and a month.
that's right. So, what have you been playing, sir?
I've been playing some Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I dusted that puppy off and I looked at it and it's like, dang, it's like my last save game was like the end of October 2018. So I'm getting ready, ready for Valhalla to kind of warm up a little bit. So, but yeah, that was good stuff.
Cool.
I love those Assassin's Creed.
Nice.
I also played some Battlefield 5, some multiplayer. I haven't
What are you
played
on
that.
a retro kick?
Apparently, well, it's retro, those new consoles is like they just keep on playing the same stuff. I mean, plus new stuff.
Yeah, well, and
So that's not retro, yeah. It's
No, not yet. I know. I was just teasing. But we're gonna go. Atari Creep said, "Modern games unsubscribed."
Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly.
well, and I got
shout
an
out
M
Amico.
Classic, so
There you
We'll
go.
have to
See, he's
see.
got an M Classic. See,
the M
See,
Classic.
he's back.
I'm gonna hook that up to my OG Xbox. And
We are going to
see
talk
what
about
else
the
we got.
PS5 a little later once we're done. Once we're done talking about the Amico, we do have some PS5 news to talk about. They did drop
Okay.
the UI video.
UI.
Today. See, they knew.
Yeah.
They
We
knew,
dropped the
Tommy.
Whopper.
They knew you were going to do it, so they were trying to beat you to the punch.
It's funny because we were originally going to do ours today too, so we
I
would have looked
know.
really.
That would have
really
been fun.
crazy.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. So I can't even keep up with all the awesomeness going on in that chat room. If I have not said hi to you yet, Crispy Bomb, Brother Crispy, Anthem, who I knew he says Tim, Lady Ventress.
Tim.
If I have not said a J, Graphic God, if I have not
Lady
said hi to you guys
Ventress,
yet,
that's Mrs. Relic.
that's Mrs.
Mrs.
Relic.
Relic in the house. Good to see Lady
Black.
Ventress. You got to get more women involved with this stuff, you know?
Absolutely. Z Black Rider, it's good to see all of you. Okay. We all know why we're here. I know why I asked you on, Tommy. Let's talk about the Xbox.
Okay. So I think the Series S is a great no. Go ahead.
Actually, later on, I mean,
The-
depending on
the
how
series
much time you have,
Amico.
if you really wanted to, we really can't. We were going to talk about that UI later. You're welcome to stick around, of course. It's, whatever.
Yeah,
time. I know.
I got opinions on it. I got thoughts on it.
Cool. So, but first, let's have some opinions on what happened over the weekend. Which, well, let's not talk about part of the weekend. Let's talk about the good part of the weekend.
Man, that IT guy, I tell you.
Oh no, that was
No, yeah.
No,
Well,
no.
For those of you who don't know, Mike has, he does a lot of this stuff, streaming, OBS, and this and that, and so I have OBS as well. So I'm like, gosh, who can I call that's like a master in OBS? And so I said, hey, Mike, can you help me? I just want to make sure because I'd only used OBS a couple of times, and I call up Mike. He's always gracious enough to get on the phone because he's like 3 hours ahead of me, so I'm always calling him at like 1 a.m. or whatever. But and we ran through the whole thing, and he helped me out. We put the key here because the idea was I was gonna live stream, and then I was gonna play the videos live and then answer some Q&A about them, and I had like 4 different videos queued up, and we went through the thing, I don't know, 4 or 5 different times running, and everything ran as smooth as silk. Mike, as my witness, hand to God, brother, right?
we were right there.
And then, of course, Saturday morning rolls around and everything just, went to crap. And, it's funny, a couple of people, Mike, who know a lot about this stuff, David Perry being one of them, said two people said two things, two different things they thought it might be, is that I was getting throttled, by my local
ISP.
Yeah, by my local provider. And so, that was one. And then the other one was that they thought, what the hell was the other one now? I forget what the other thing was.
One person said that they thought that you should have dropped the resolution of the video from 1080p to 720. I did see that. And that can help, but I knew that the videos you were trying to show were all going to be 1080, 60 frames.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to,
60 frames.
didn't want to ruin, because the idea was you were going to talk live, and then you were going to kick over to a video, then come back, kick over, and come back. And I thought it was a great plan. So
yeah, and the thing that everyone was saying was that when it went live, like when I would first reset OBS, it was fine. Like totally smooth for like about 10 seconds, and then it would die. That's why they thought maybe the throttling thing was going on.
That's anyway. What it looked like to me. But you know what? We are going to get that straightened out before the next time that you go on. Because I know you want to do another live stream. So I'm going to work with you and get that straightened out. And it's totally. I continue to say this. It was really funny because I'm typing in Discord to Peter and Chris. Hey guys, I'm helping Tommy Tallarico with OBS. I mean, it just that. Well, it's like it's like 20 years ago I'm listening to your music. Now I'm doing OBS with you. I mean, it was surreal for me, and so it's just really crazy.
It's funny because a lot of people were like, well, why you have like 50 people who are working there with you in Intellivision, like you didn't have any IT. It's like, no, it was a Saturday morning. My entire team had worked like crazy up until like 2-3 in the morning all week, to that day to make sure all the stuff was there and this and that. And it's like, and I was doing it out of my house. So no, I didn't have, 50 people around me with IT skills and this and that, because it was 10:10. Hey, if it was during the week, sure, different story. But Saturday morning early at my house, it was just the day that 10:10 happened to be on. So no, you were my go-to guy. But I just want to say I want to give a special shout out to Cyrus Martin and Retro Bro, who I see is in the chat. And I just did a fantastic. They did a fantastic Q&A with me. It was just a great conversation. Those guys are so cool. No nonsense guys who just speak from the heart. A lot of like what I do, wear their heart on their sleeves. No nonsense. And boy, it was such a great thing. We went through so many different things and so many different questions. So yeah, and I understand Cyrus just put out a brand new video about our friends over at the PU podcast. So I haven't seen that yet. But did I say that right? PU pod? No, CU. Sorry, CU.
We are not going to think about stuff like that tonight. Tonight is making love to the Amico night. That is what we are going to do. So, so we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about games. So everyone here, Chris, Peter, you guys all saw the gameplay trailer, right?
Yes.
All right, so we are going to show that gameplay trailer and kind of talk about the things that we like. I can actually now stop and start these videos, so very happy about that. And we're going to go through this. So, now, let me hold on. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here because you know what? I am feeling a little salty today. Give me 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
So, I want to ask you a tough question, Mr. Tallarico.
Tougher the better.
Let me put my Walter face on. So the games that we were about to see, are any of these playing on the Amico itself?
Yes, all of them except one. There's 30 games in the trailer, and 29 of them were recorded directly off an Intellivision Amico real board. The only one that wasn't was Retro Force Redux, and our version's called Retro Force Redux Enhanced. And the reason that we didn't record that one is because we still don't have the frame rate. A lot of times when you're moving over games onto a different processor and a whole different operating area, so you have to adjust. And again, look, yeah, I you know me, I'm always up front. We don't have as powerful a chip as the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, most PCs, the Nintendo Switch. And so the game was originally, a big thing about game development that a lot of people might not understand is some of the last process of game development is the optimization. Getting everything to run smoothly, working on the frame rate, this and that. So we're so early on that, our frame rate wasn't great, moving it over, and it's stuff that they're, working on and this and that. So that was the only one that wasn't recorded directly off an Amico console. So there you go. There's the answer.
Okay, right. Even if it's not run off of Amico, who cares? It's we saw all the crap that was going on with Spider-Man and the puddles.
Yeah.
Right.
Work in progress.
Yeah, the work in progress. It's not even out yet. If you were selling it
6 months from release. Yeah.
If you were advertising it as the production model, then people could bitch about it. But otherwise, who gives a shit? By the way, Breakout's playing great on my Mac right now.
The game would come out like next week, then we might say, hey, maybe it's time to show it on the console. But
yeah, exactly. Hey, Mike, do you want to back this video all the way up? Because sure. I could. There's a lot of like little Easter eggy kind of things, and I'd like to go through and point out some stuff that maybe people didn't notice, but they'd find interesting. So here we go. Intellivision logo.
So we start with Shark, of course.
Okay, so yeah, pause.
I love that
pause
game.
On Shark. So I had to open this with we call him Puffy, the one in the middle. He's so terrified whenever the shark comes around, and you can see that expression. And I just remember Atari Creep, Chris, when he first saw this, and a lot of people when they first I put a little clip of him in one of our previous trailers, and everybody oh my God, we love Puffy or whatever. And so I'm like, I got to start the video off, with Puffy this time, because no one's seen him blow up. Because once the shark comes, he expands and he's just like kind of hanging in the air. And we also show the pelican for the first time as well. So every single level. Every level that we have, look at it, watch, he goes, boop.
Do you still kill the shark by biting its tail 10 times?
You do. Yeah, you have to bite
there's
its
the
tail.
pelican.
Yeah, every level has a certain boss, a different boss or whatever, or some different big element. Look at the hammerhead too. And we're still working out this one was, still working out frame rate. It's still the sharks are a little jittery. We're going to smooth that all out. It's going to be great. And another thing too about the gameplay. So do you see on this screen, for example, you see how there's a blue clamshell, a purple clamshell, and then an orange clamshell? Mm-hmm. And you'll notice that the orange clamshell is open and they all have pearls in it, right?
Right.
So what happens in the gameplay, and this is our Karma gaming engine at work, is that what happens is that if you're in last place, so in this scenario, it would be the purple player, right? Because they only have 75 points currently, right? And so what happens is whoever's in last place, their controller will vibrate. No one else knows who's vibrating, but their controller will vibrate. And if they look down on their screen, it will show the orange clam, signaling that, hey, within the next 5 seconds, the orange clam is going to open. So then that player who's in last place has a little bit of a hint and an early head start to go over there. So it's, and then what happens with the strategy is you see who's in last place, and then you kind of watch if they start to dart over anywhere. So it just that one little thing helps players who are in last place, as opposed to like just cheating and, they make them swim faster or whatever. No, just a little hints. And that's a perfect example of some of the ways the Karma gaming engine is going to come out. Now, this is going to have 12 different scenes and in 3 different worlds. This is the treasure, the pirate ship level. We have a coral reef kind of world, and then the last world, which I show here a clip of, is Atlantis, or kind of underwater city world, and there's all these different scenes and all these things, so it's really neat. But I just wanted to point that out. You'll also notice this is the co-op mode, not the versus mode, and the way I know that is if you look in the middle, everyone's trying to get 2,000 points cumulatively in order to get to the next level. So this is a co-op mode where everyone is playing with each other, but still you can eat each other as well. So if I start to grow bigger, I can still eat. And what you'll find in co-op mode is that people are actually still trying to eat each other. Like friends are still trying to eat each other, unless they're just strictly going for points. But it's all about having fun. So
that will be me destroying my wife and children.
Yeah.
Destroy them.
Right. And if anybody has any questions specifically about Shark, now's the time. We'll go through all the 30 games. And ask, just ask right in the chat, and I'll answer as much as I possibly can.
Yep, and gentlemen, jump in. Tommy and I talk a lot, so jump in when we'll stop.
let me ask a quick question, because it is for level 1 online, and it's already getting late for me. What is the status of the GT Red Amico? It says.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Yeah, the GTO Red Amico. Oh, I don't have my lights on. Hold on a second.
I sent him out of the room.
You did. Yeah. He had to turn his lights on. I love that. I love that thing about. Oh, he's bringing it over.
There it is.
Some Benny Hill music, I tell you.
Number 1 of 1.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's got the controllers in it.
I got a black controller in here too, but and this isn't finished. But
wait a minute. Hold on, wait. Those are the first time we've seen the colored controllers before.
Maybe.
Yes, you have not shown us these yet. You've been holding out on us.
Holding out.
I want to see if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really see the metallic in there. It's a really tight, beautiful metallic. Because that's so we did this, like we said in the hardware video. We did a very special process with these, because if you just paint something and you gloss over it, like you could get scratch, you could get all crappy. So what we've done is we've taken special materials and then we embed them into the plastic when the plastics are getting shot. And then this then becomes a part of the plastic, and it's a really amazing process. The other thing that folks will be interested in knowing about the special editions is that see the Amico logo. The button's not even in there because it's just the plastics. But the Amico logo is like a mirror kind of thing, and the vents are going to also match the color. So the vents in the front are going to be red, highlighted red. So we put a bunch of different little, nicer touches. And by the way, the white and the black ones look great. The wood grain And something I want to just to mention about the wood grain stuff. See these plastics around here? This is not what it's going to look like, at all. These are just, are the texture and the color. These are just molds that we popped in, but those are good. I mean, these are the real plastics. I mean, you can see this is the real, what it's going to look like at the end.
Are you sure, Mr. Tallarico? Are you sure?
Yes. And so here's the inside of the shell. You can see the brownness of the shell, and the brown color. Again, this is going to be a little different, but you'll notice it doesn't have any of the texture on it yet. So this is just the plastic without the texture. But you do these first shots like this, and you test the heck out of them to make sure that that you don't need any adjustments before you start into mass. But I just wanted to point it out because a couple people pointed out that I hope that's not what it's going to look like. No, not even close. It's going to be this really nice, just like you saw in our renders.
That's so.
This
was
really
that
nice gold.
Which one was which version was in the hardware video?
The one that I had with the lights going on like crazy.
With the wood grain, was that because I got the wood grain. So
the wood grain in the August 5th video was
no,
that
the wood
I
grain,
had a mat.
the wood grain one from Saturday's video.
Yeah, that was the one I just showed you.
Okay.
I had three. It was basically these three things right here. If I take the top off of this, hold on. I had these three things laying on a table like this. And
Any card.
Yeah, exactly. And I had shot them like that without the bottoms. And again, these aren't the real, these aren't the real thing. So, anyone, who potentially would have been freaking out going, oh crap, I hope it doesn't look like that. No, it doesn't look like that. So
when is it due to be back in stock? I just want to make sure I didn't miss that.
Oh, so I didn't even answer your question. I got so excited about the colors. So GTO Red, we haven't announced who will be selling that one. It's going to be the red one will be exclusive at some stores. So meaning a certain huge retailer is going to have it, and another certain huge retailer is going to have it. In fact, I'm talking about the United States and North America now. It's literally the two biggest retailers in the United States and in the world. Those two will be doing pre-orders for the GTO Red.
How much is it in comparison to the others?
They're all the same. So the two base units are the Glacier White and the Graphite Black. Those are $249. That's the suggested retail price. Again, I'm working really hard to get that to $199 eventually. If not by Christmas 2021, definitely by Christmas 2022, I think we'll be there. I don't want to say definitely because you never know, right? But that's our goal, is to get it to $199 eventually by year 2 or year 3, because I think that's when it'll really start to blow up and everybody will get them in all their. That's when we're hopefully selling tens of millions of these things.
Well, if I have to buy a second one, a price drop would definitely be great.
There you go. Right.
Go ahead.
And then, but the special edition versions, the GTO Red, the Vintage Wood Grain, the Galaxy Purple, those are all $279, and so they're $30 more, right? And that's because it literally costs us a lot more to, the way we're putting them together and stuff like that. So they're just built a little differently, and the finishes are different, and they're special. We're not making as many of those. So we're gonna hope to level one question though. We're hopefully going to. I think we're gonna have them. we're kind of deciding. We're going back and forth with the retailer right now because should we, we don't want to confuse people and have them available before Christmas. So they might do it. It's either going to happen before Christmas or probably right at the beginning of the new year. So that's when they will be on order. But again, sign up to our mailing list because they'll be the first purple. Go to IntellivisionAmico.com, sign up to our mailing list. We're going to send it to those people first and right away. So, yeah.
Cool. A couple of quick questions from the chat room. Then I want to go on in the game video.
Yeah.
Mike Garcia wanted to know, are they made assembled in the U.S.? That was kind of talked about in your hardware video, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot now. Everything's designed in the U.S. Everything was created in the U.S. In fact, these first shot plastics were done in the U.S. But this kind of stuff, it has to all be put together in China. There's no way around it. Sony does it. Microsoft does it. Nintendo does it. It's just the way electronics are made these days, especially the kind of electronics that video game consoles have. And that was one thing that I'll be honest, I was a little naive about 3 years ago when I started this process, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to make everything in the USA, or at least North America. We can assemble in Mexico. We can do some stuff in Canada. We'll spread the love, right? But I want made in the USA. And then, once you start talking to, manufacturers and it's like, you can't, even if you were selling the console for $800, there's just certain things that can't be done here. The infrastructure isn't set up in the United States. So I was like, whoa, it's like, it's a bummer, but it kind of tells you where the world has gone, right? Where American jobs and NAFTA and all this. I don't want to go into politics, but you really do see, because the original Intellivision was made in California in the 70s and 80s. It was manufactured there. So you can see over 40 years how the world has changed in regards to certain manufacturing. And it was funny because we were sitting with a huge investment firm last month, and they were talking about, we were talking about like the company potentially going public someday, because Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they're publicly traded companies. Even Atari is, even though it's like a penny stock, but that's a badge of honor, going public, And they said, look, if we were to give you $75 million, what would you do to it? And that's like, like, oh boy, I better answer this right. I'm going to give myself a raise. No, and I said, well, obviously we would spend, we spend a lot on marketing, and I said, but if I had my dream, what I would do, I would figure out a way to build a factory here somewhere in America and make the thing. Maybe it's in Texas, maybe it's in Utah, maybe it's whatever, but I would want to build a factory and make the whole thing there. And the guy looks me right in the eye, and this is a legit billionaire. He looks me right in the eye and he goes, right answer. So anyway, we're talking to them. So who knows? You never know. But this first batch, yeah. But the thing is, I want to stress, and that's why I really wanted to put Bob and EJ, who were in that hardware video. That's why I wanted to put them in the video, because we searched, for a long time, and we found the absolute perfect partners. And we flew over to China last year. We've been partnered with them for over a year, but we flew over with them last year. We only got the announcement like a month ago, but we flew over, and the thing is that they care about their people. They're like a big family. They got 2,000 employees, and a woman runs, and I had dinner with her, and we hung out with her for days, and she's a Christian Chinese woman, which is very, very unique in China. but she cares so much about her people. And there's EJ, and he's the CEO, because it's an Irvine company, by the way. Their manufacturing is done in 2 locations in China. And what have they manufactured before? Because he said it in the video. He's like, we've done millions of video game products. These are the folks, they do the circuit boards for the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Wii. These are the systems these folks have done portions of. And like Bob said in the video, their circuit boards, why do all the big ones like Foxconn and all these other big folks go to them? Because they have a 99.9, what do you say, 99.98
or something like, yeah.
Yeah. Success rate, which is, again, very unheard of because their people are so great. But you hear EJ talk about, because China's, can be a crazy place with dodgy, factories and work conditions and all that. These are the exact opposite. They take care of their people. They take care of their families. And they have all their green certificates. They go above and beyond to make sure their factory is a good work environment. You can see the pictures there, how crystal clean it is, and the floors are beautiful, and the people are smiling. And we talked about, oh, should we mention this in the video? We said, no, we don't want to go there. But they have a special floor in their factory. I think they call it floor 5. And what they do is they hire all special needs people in China, and they give them jobs and the entire floor. And it's more like, kind of simple type stuff. But these are people that are typically ignored in a country like China and really looked down upon. And again, these folks create, and my sister was handicapped, my sister Karen, and so again, I'm in there like tears in my eyes, walking through the I think they call it I think it's the 4th floor, and you're walking through and you just see all these big smiles on these folks' face, that they have a purpose in life, and these people like pay attention and care to them and give them, like, it was just such a beautiful thing. And there was no other factories that I went to and that we talked to and looked at that had the kind of care and dedication to the environment, to their people, and to special needs folks. And that make millions of video games with a 99.98. So, it was a perfect marriage in heaven. And I said, I really want to give you guys some time on camera because it's important that people know this and that we care about this kind of stuff, So anyway, that's the story there. If anyone has any questions about that, let me know.
Yeah, I'm trying to take them down as I can. J Prime, you had a question.
Yeah, one more. Again, for level 1 online. Do you have the exact model number of the Snapdragon chip yet?
I do, but I'm going to keep it a secret.
Okay.
And the reason for that is not to be cute or funny or anything like that. It's just that I want the focus to be on the games and the fun. And I'll always be the first to admit it's not an impressive, it's not as powerful as a Switch, their Integra chip. It's not as powerful as a PlayStation 4. It's not as powerful as an Xbox. It's adequate. It's exactly what we needed for the type of games we wanted to do and to keep that price where we needed to keep it. And again, we want to get it lower, but we know part of the reason, because the chip is usually the most expensive part of the machine. And we picked a chip that we knew would enable us to drop the price because it would be coming down. If we use the very brand new best Qualcomm chip that's in like the Galaxy 8s right now or whatever, or the Note 1 Pluses, those are $100 chips, right? We do not have a $100 chip in there. And so we have something that's adequate, that's right for us, and I just don't want to pull the focus off of. And it's not even because we're embarrassed about it. Again, I'm telling you straight up, it's nothing to write home about, but you can see the level of the quality of the games we're doing, the graphics. It's not PlayStation 5, it's not Xbox, but it's adequate for what we wanted it to be. And so we want the games to talk, and we don't want people to talk about, oh, it can't do this and it can't do that. Now, eventually, look, the first day that the machine comes up, somebody's going to unscrew it, open it up, break the warranty. But they're going to open it up and they're going to see it, and it'll be all over the internet on April 5th, I'm sure, or April 4th. Sorry. And so we're just going to wait and kind of keep it a mystery. And that's not me trying to be a jerk. I just or trying to be dodgy about the question. We want people to focus on the games and talk about the games and not get into that.
Right there, that's the key. The games.
Yep, the game.
Yeah.
So many your friends, Pat and Ian, they're constantly talking about the games. The quality isn't going to be there because it's a banana pie, which I've never heard of. I have a lot of Raspberry Pis, but
right.
I don't know. I've never heard of banana pie.
Well,
I love banana splits.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The Tegra is the Switch. You've got the Intel in a Mac and a PC, which is basically a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So that I don't really care about the chip. As long as the games are fun and they're not these convoluted things that I'm never going to understand, and it's something my family and I can play, that's
exactly.
Perfect.
And you know what? My mom doesn't even know what a teraflop is. She doesn't care what chip. Exactly. Our target audience, and I think Retro Bro said it great in the chat. He says, let's be fair. Most gamers and family, which is the target market, most families don't care what the chipset is. But it is an interesting question, and it's a great question by Level One online. So I don't want to try to it is a great question. I totally respect and understand him wanting to know that, because it is interesting, and I apologize to him for not being able to answer it directly. It's just that we want to kind of just keep that to ourselves for now, because we want the focus to be on the games.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate you taking time to answer the question. I hope I didn't shit all over his question when I
no.
So anyway,
he's a cool guy.
He is.
But the thing, Cyrus Martin just said it great. He said the banana pie thing is absolute slander. It really is. And again, these
it's all right. You know what? Let's get back to the games.
Yeah, but just for the record, it's an absolute lie. And what's funny though is that Pat tries to pass off. He goes, well, my hardware expert told me it's banana pie. His hardware expert is a YouTuber with 40 subscribers who knows absolutely nothing about what we're doing or technology. So his expert is actually not very bright in regards to what's inside the Amico. So that's a big expert.
Our chat room is the best. So you know what? Everybody in the chat room, we want to know what your favorite pie is. So we got coconut pie. We want to know what your favorite pie is.
I want to let's go through my favorite pie. Gosh, that's a toss up, because I love me some cherry pie. But I bleed red, white, and blue, so I love me some apple pie.
Retro Bro, Retro Bro, this is a family show, dude. I got the Revenge of the Nerds reference too.
And so I love me some cherry pie. I love me what was that? Who was that? Winger? Who did that? She's my cherry pie. No, what?
That's who did that? She's
was
my
that
cherry pie.
Bach?
Molly Crew.
Was that Molly? Oh, I got to go look it up.
Warren, that was it.
Warren,
yeah.
Atari Creep. Yeah, Warren. She's my cherry pie. That's some 80s stuff right there. But I love me some chocolate.
I love chocolate pie.
You ever have chocolate pudding pie with the whipped cream? Now, I do all my stuff vegan, so I use almond milk and all that stuff, but it's still great. Chocolate pudding pie. Oh, lemon meringue.
Pie. Yeah, there's
lemon meringue.
There we go. Oh. All right. So
okay.
one last quick one. Just a very quick question from Greg Bucci. When do you think the Amico will start going into production?
It's supposed to go into manufacturing, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, manufacturing. True manufacturing.
So there's Italian pie. Yeah, that's Italian pie. That's a pizza. And that's me and Retro Bros. Real
those are
favorite.
the best pies.
Yeah, those are the best pies, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of dates that could happen, and it depends on when we get our compliance, because we have 25 different compliance companies that have to be issued and passed just in the United States alone. And then we have another 25 compliance places around that include Canada and all over Europe. So 50 different compliance things that we have to deal with. Now, the Chinese New Year starts, I think it's February 14th next year, or somewhere around there, 13th, 14th, 15th. I believe it's the 15th. And so everything in China shuts down for about two and a half weeks. And so, in order for us to get on the shelves in April, now, if we play it by boat, so if the first batch goes by boat, that means that in order to reach the shores and get distributed, we need to hitting the shores of the U.S. in Long Beach and California by April 1st, which means they have to leave China on March 1st. That's if we do a boat. So because the Chinese New Year is February 15th to the 28th of February, that means we have to, because we're going to lose all that time, that means we have to start sometime between January 2nd and February, call it February 10th, right? So, we can do 25, and this is an updated number. The minimum we can do is 2,500 consoles a day. We thought it was only going to be 1,500, but because of some changes we made in the structure and everything, and they're all positive changes to make things easier and to make sure they're put together better, it actually goes 2,500 a day minimum, but we think it can actually go up to 3,000. And the factories work 6 days a week. So what does that mean? That means we can do, minimum, we can do about 15,000 a week. That's minimum. Maximum, we'll be able to do about 18, possibly even 20,000 a week if it really, because once assembly lines get going, it starts to get quicker. So our founders editions, our VIP editions, we could literally start those in the middle or at the beginning of February, still get them on the boat for during the shutdown, and they'd still reach the shores in time. But again, because we have all these backup plans, so it's like, we so many backup plans. We're going to try to start in the beginning of January, middle of January, end of January, we're still okay. Beginning of February, we're still okay. Let's say the compliance stuff, we're missing one, right? Or whatever. We have to go back and change something because of they found an error, it didn't pass a certain compliance, so we had to go back and change something that screws a lot of things up, delays stuff. Let's say some of the worst case scenarios happened. Well, we can still start in March, and then instead of voting them over, we can do what Sony's doing with a lot of their PlayStation 5. We can airship them. And guess what? That takes 20 hours, right? And so now it's a lot more expensive for us. But in order to get those first 10,000 or 20,000 into people's hands, okay, sure. So we start up after the Chinese New Year. By the end of the first week in March, we have 15, 20,000 ready to go. And we can airship them. We could even start on March 15th and airship them. We could start on March 20th and still airship them. So you can see where I wanted to go into much detail about that because I want folks to understand it's kind of fun, right? To learn this process and all the things. And I love sharing it with everyone who's here because, it's interesting when certain people will say, that I make things up and it's like, I don't know. I'm biased, obviously, but I think I'm the most, transparent CEO on the planet.
The very first thing that you said to us when you first met us in January was, I want you to trust. And every time that you talk and you give more detail and you're open like this, you build that trust. That's why there's 65 people sitting here watching and chatting right. and enjoying, because every time you go on a show, that's why I could talk to you anytime I want, but I go to Retro Bro and I go to Cyrus and I go to Pete, and I go to, because every time you're on a show, you say something that you haven't even told me. And so,
there's so much information. That's why I love doing these and these questions that folks are having, and they create new dialogues, right? And that's why I could do, I've done, 6 hours of interviews or 7 hours of interviews just this week before this one. And here we are talking about brand new stuff now. So
and you're doing that with the same energy. And by the way, this isn't an interview. You're part of NLG, man. You're one of us. So, all right. So
Frank Bell, I want to. Yeah, actually, Frank Bell has a question about the Sesame Street games, and we'll I guess we'll get to that eventually because they're going to show up. So I'll answer. I'm going to answer Sesame Street. I'll go in because that's another lie that people are telling, and we'll get into that when it comes up. So now we're on to Cloudy Mountain.
Yeah, which,
I want to tell people some fun stuff about this.
And by the way, I know J Prime. Whenever you need to go, jump out. Just say, I know you got to get up early. I appreciate any time you're able to come on.
I appreciate you having me. Tommy, Relic wants to see the purple one again. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for being there.
All right. Good night, Brother Jay.
Good night, Generation.
This is
a little bit. It's a little bit. And I'm gonna it says you're hold on. It says you're muted again, and I think I know why. Because J Prime popped out. Now I have to hold on. Try now.
Yo, check out 1, 2. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Retro Bro said Tommy's saying swear words in Italian, so you had to mute him.
Hey, Stugats, huh? Okay.
All right,
only me and Retro Bro know.
Yeah, and so let's go on. But I need to say this right now, and I only have to say this apparently for one person so far that's in the chat room, because everybody else in the chat room we know. Good people. They hang out with us every week. But I'm just going to make this very, very, very clear. If you want to stay in the chat room, It is completely respectable and good behavior. Don't come in looking to start trouble. We don't tolerate that here. You are not in the right show. So I just want to make that perfectly clear before we go on.
I noticed that we have one down thumb arrow there. So,
That's all right.
So we have one lurker in here.
Oh, they hit that before the show started. That's all right.
okay. Hey,
So,
and by the way, whoever the negative lurker is,
thanks
if you have a question and you want to ask it, in a respectful way, but mio culo. If I think everyone know what that one means.
Yes. Come on in.
Ask the question in a respectful way, and I'll answer it respectfully. That's all. That's not asking for too much, is it? If you want to have a question answered and you have any question, it could be as hard as you want it to be. It doesn't matter. If you ask it in a respectful manner, I'll give you a respectful answer. And I don't think that's asking too much from folks, is it?
Yeah, it's not. So
okay. So let's get back to Cloudy Mountain here.
All right.
And so one of the things that I haven't heard anyone talk about is that I put in here. Isn't this cool? Like how three people. So you have, this is like the store area, right? The merchant, where you buy different things. But one of the next things you're going to see, and no one talked about this, and I was surprised, is that we have this wardrobe chamber, like in the where you kind of start from in the opening cave, and you keep going back there. It's almost like a warp zone a little bit. But what people didn't notice, watch the person goes over to the wardrobe chest, and you can change the color of your guy. So the wardrobe is basically one color. But if you keep playing it, watch, it'll come up. Okay. Right there, look. And then the guy changed to blue.
That's cool.
I just thought that was so cool.
I just love the fact that the bouncing the bouncing arrows are still there.
Oh, stop this right here.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, stop.
Oh, and the cool thing is, the other thing I noted I used in that Cloudy Mountain clip is, you'll notice that last clip, the treasure chest opens and you see another color for a wardrobe. So you can collect different color wardrobes. See, the guy's yellow now and he changes himself to blue, and then watch this chest. Oh, there's another color.
Oh, and he changed the yellow when he touched it. Look, or at least he was flashing colors.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now this here, again, this is the funniest comment in the world. When people say that this looks like a Flash game, I want you to show me any Flash game that looks like it. Is impossible. Flash games don't do 3D lighting. And the funny thing is that, now you're seeing this. What is new about this? Well, you can see that we've added a bridge, so they're not just like kind of floating in there. They're all on bridge. And eventually, like the things like the wheels on that tank on the right, those are going to like move and stuff like that. But we have different asteroids. Look at the lighting as it gets closer.
Yeah.
As the asteroids, watch how they light up, and they, boom, look at how cool that is. You can see the beam. The big laser beam is all different now. And again, the little fun thing that I put in that I thought more people were going to mention is that look in the bottom right-hand corner. Look how
the little guy. You said this on Retro Bros, and I meant to look at it, and I didn't. Yeah,
it's the original Astro Smash guy, and we used that to count up how many ships you have left as your
nice.
Isn't that fun?
So I want to address this too, if you don't mind. I want people to see this. So this is Astro Smash for the original Intellivision. This is what the game looked like in 1980, whatever, 1979, 1980. Okay,
I think it was 80.
I think you're right. I hadn't looked. All right, so this is what we're coming from.
Could be 79.
I don't care. I spent so much time playing this game. This is my. You know that this is my game. You know this is the number one on my chart of Intellivision games. I don't care if this. I don't care if it did look like a Flash game. I don't care if it. First off, you can't play this game on a mobile. That's number one. But I don't really care. You know what I care about? I care about the fact that it plays. It's going to play like an enhanced version of what I grew up with. My son, who loves every time I show him this, is going to be able to play with me, and we're going to have a blast just blowing stuff up like I used to. So I don't care.
Do you ever notice, Mike, that
81 is what Skyline and Sunset said. Thank you, Skylines.
You know what's interesting, though, that you'll find, Mike, is that a lot of the folks who don't understand Amico and who are against it, most of them don't have children, you know?
No, this is not their demographic.
And it's almost like they've lost their own kind of childhood innocence in a way. They've been hardened in life over the years or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though? But, you know, when you have kids, I think you can appreciate this stuff, you know, even more. So,
yeah.
Oh, is this the next one? Skiing. So I want to talk about something in this really quick. Do you notice there's a mouse on the bottom right side? There's a mouse pointer. Not now, but whenever we show, back up. There was a mouse pointer when we were recording the when we were recording. When we were recording, and you'll only see it in the multiplayer. When we were, and because of COVID, you know, we could only get together one special day, and to have people in the same room and this and that. You won't see that. You won't see it there in any of the single player stuff. But when we were recording it, and people will say, "Oh, well, you must have been recording this off a PC." Well, first of all, in the August 5th video, people saw me playing it on an Amico with the Amico controller. So why would we record it on a PC when we've already shown it playing on the Amico? But what that was is, remember that we have a USB-C in the back of the console. So when we're doing development stuff, we have a mouse plugged in back there because we have like a USB-C dongle that goes from USB to USB-C. So you can connect a mouse to the back of it, and it's easier for us to like close windows, navigate in and out of all the stuff. And because skiing is mostly all snow, we didn't notice it when we were recording it. And so it's on there, the mouse. But it's, again, let me be 100% clear. This was all recorded off Amico. But the funny thing was, now I'm editing the video, and because I do all my own editing, it's like, well, what the hell's the CEO doing editing? It's because I love it. I'm passionate about it. I've been an editor for 30 years. 25 years. 25 years I've been a professional editor, whether it's my video games live shows and all the music and stuff. I worked with Shigeru Miyamoto on the Zelda and Mario parts of our show. I worked with him on that video, and I edited it. I worked directly with Hideo Kojima on the Metal Gear Solid. I worked directly with the Halo team, directly with the Bungie team to do Halo, directly with the Shadow of the Colossus team in Japan, directly with Team Sonic, which I was I was hired to do music for, one of the first Americans ever hired to work on the Sonic franchise. These are all my buddies, my friends, and so I'm an editor. Plus, from my TV show days. You know, we would help out. Back in the day, there was, small, everybody was doing stuff. So it's one of my fun hobbies is I'm an editor. So you'll see it and so now I'm editing the thing and I see it on there. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? How did we miss this? But we couldn't get back together. The four of us couldn't get back together, and we didn't have the time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave it on. It'll be a little Easter egg for the people who see it or whatever. But then of course people try to use it against us and say, "Oh,
Night Stalker.
You record on a PC."
Night Stalker.
Yes. One of my favorites.
So again, I want to set this up because of course I've got Night Stalker, and I want to shout out to our other retro game brother Mike Micah, who who gave me permission to use his original footage in our intro video. So just as a reminder, this is what it comes from. All right, one level, running around, a fun game as crap, but I can't wait for this.
It's so great. Look how spooky that spider is too, right? And look at the guy. Look at the yellow guy in the top. How he just barely made it out from death. Watch the guy in the gold guy right there. Watch him. Look, you got a robot chasing him. He goes under the spider's leg, goes up. Just dodges a robot's bullet, and that's what this game is all about. And helping out your buddies. Because, when you run out of bullets and it's like, and let's say you're the pink guy and you're like, hey, or the pink girl, hey, green guy, your gun's over here. I'll cover for you. Like there's so much of that goes on. Look at the green guy underneath the leg of the spider. Whoa, just reaches that, gets the gun. I mean, it's just such fun stuff. Now in this clip, pause it for a sec if you could. Sure. Mike, go back and pause that one where pause it right there. Pause it right there. What's happening on screen is that, see the green guy? What happens with these big wormy looking things? The way to kill him is you got to hit him in the butt. You got to hit him in the hemorrhoids, because their butts are lit up. But what happens is they lock on to somebody and they start focusing and chasing that guy. So that big worm you see in the middle, he's focused on that green guy and he's going to go anywhere that green guy goes. And what that enables the pink guy to do, so your team, you're in the co-op, you're like talking to each other going, okay, I'm going to lock him in on me, and you go around his backside and start firing on his ass. And this is the kind of really cool stuff that you can do that was never in the original Night Stalker, and just so much fun, so much fun when you're playing co-op. And that's why I love going through this stuff and explaining it to people, because sometimes you don't get the sense of that from just watching a screenshot, but that's what's happening here. It's so cool. Back it up. Now that I've explained it, back it up a little bit, Mike, so that people can watch it in action again.
Sure. So we'll go through. We'll see the first one where they're running onto the... Anthium did ask, can you kill the spider?
No. Okay. I'm not going to do it. I wanted to terrorize everyone. Look at the green guy.
It's going after him.
Right? It's on his ass,
Yeah.
Nice.
Mike is doing God's work with that game. That's all I'm saying.
He's the best.
So. All right. Mike over here clouding. Damn right.
Now
Crispy knows me.
Now this game here has so many more visual upgrades to go. It's not even funny. This is an early build, and the game already looks like 2 times better than this. But I really wanted to show the gameplay. We spent so much time on the stall physics to get it just perfect, just like the biplanes of old. Look at the way the biplanes are spinning around. Watch this.
You can say it, Tommy. Triple action. You can say the name of the game.
Absolutely. I love triple action. But it's really funny because this guy here, look, he gets the spike, boom, he takes out the green guy. Now he goes for the red, boom, and then he's going to get this last blue guy. Boom. He took them all out, and then he does a spin for good measure. This game is so much fun. Out of all the games, we have a 5-person test department. Very successful test folks. Our lead, the guy who runs our QA department, worked at EA for 10 years running their QA department in Salt Lake City. So, and the team that we have has worked together for like 3 or 4 years together. So we have such an amazing bunch of folks, and they're full-time employees for Intellivision. And this is their favorite game for co-op.
This was definitely of Triple Action. This was my favorite of the 3 games. I mean, the tank game couldn't.
Tanks was fun too.
Tanks was okay, but it wasn't Armor Battle.
Auto racing
was horrible, but this was great. And what, if you hadn't played that, I'm going to back it up a little bit because the stalling mechanic is key to strategy in this game. You have to know how to stall, and you have to know how to, when to hold them and when to fold them. I mean, there's such like the green guy. So I want to back it up just a sec. See, now I'm selling
because that green guy goes into a backward stall and shoots the guy coming down and then pulls out of the stall. Watch.
Yeah.
Whoa! Just at the last second.
That is insane. That is what I'm waiting for. And you know what? Y'all can make fun of me for being excited for that.
Hey, I just wanted, before we get to Missile Command or his breakout, but Frank Bell had a great question about Missile Command that I'd like to direct
and I'll
to.
play Missile Command while we're going.
Yeah, and so Breakout is the same kind of question as well. We've all seen the Breakout demo. Hopefully, if you haven't played it. So Frank Bell has a fantastic question here where he said, gosh, and others I've heard ask this question as well. But go back and pause on the very first screen there, Michael.
Sure.
Is what he said was, gosh, Missile Command looks really busy. And so pause here. Gosh, Missile Command looks really busy. Is it going to be like that? Because it's so crowded and it's so this and that. And that's a great point. And Frank, what I wanted to do, so the answer to your question is it always busy? The answer is no. What you'll notice about this clip is, look what wave we're on. We're on wave 13 with 3 players working co-op together, right? So level 1 with 1 player is just the way you remember the original Missile Command. Things come down, 4 or 5 things come down. You kind of hit them. Then another wave will come in, maybe 7 or 8. You hit them. And that kind of thing. So now I didn't want to show that kind of slow play because it doesn't work well in a fast cut video like this. So I went for more of the busy action shots for this video. So that's a fantastic question, Frank. And you're not the first person to ask that. So yes, these are purposely intentional busy screenshots because it conveys more action and it also shows how how well the machine does when there's a lot of stuff on screen. And I mean, look how smooth these reticles are if you play this, Mike.
Yeah, but so while I'm playing it though, can you hold on one second. Can you talk about this mode? Because I don't think I've heard of what is the...
Absolutely. And Phil Issett asked, is that the same for Astro Smash? Yes, absolutely, Phil. Absolutely. It starts out slow. Okay, so this mode here, this is our versus mode. Now, for this particular, there were 3 of us playing. So you see player 2 at the top left, player 3 in the top right, and I was player 1, and I just, I had my controller. It was Tommy. And so my cities are all gone in this particular shot. I lost this game. And so you won't see any of my 4 cities at the bottom. So this is, everybody has their own little corner. You can play this 2-player, 3-player, or 4-player. So when you play it 2-player, it's one person all the way across the top, one person all the way there's a 3-player right there, right? So you can see. And so now look, we're at wave 20 now. See wave 20? Now we're at wave 22. Look how crazy it starts to get. So I just wanted to kind of show some chaos there. But now here's a thing where, look, everybody has 4 cities. And so in a 3-player mode, you 2 people are in the corner and one's at the bottom. But in 2-player mode, you each have 6 cities across the top and the bottom. And in 4-player mode, we hit all 4 corners. So everybody's in 4 corners. So it's just it's really fun, depending on how many people are in co-op, is the setup of the game. But in this mode, let me show you how this goes. I'm sure Atari Creep's really going to love this. So this is versus mode. So what you have to do in versus mode, now stop it right there. Now, do you see that yellow icon, that yellow missile there on the right, that badge? That's how you get missiles to fire at your opponents. So if you look in the reticle, see that red reticle?
Yeah.
All the information about your bases and everything is actually right in that reticle. So those 3 red things are the amount of missiles that you have stored up to attack your enemies. That blue thing around the center, the blue area, that is how much shield you have left. Because as you use your shield, it goes down. I'm sorry. The missiles for the versus mode is in the center. Those ones in the center, those blue ones or green ones in the center. The red ones are your smart bombs that kind of will destroy anything that's coming at you in a vicinity. And then the stuff at the top, you'll see those pink, kind of lighter pink things. You see a lot of them on the left, some of them in the middle, and none on the right. Those are all of your typical missiles that you're just, demolishing, that you're defending your stuff from. So you say, Tom, it's starting to get a little confusing. It's super easy when you start to play it, because you learn this stuff little steps at a time. So what you have to do in order to attack your enemy is when those yellow missiles come on screen, you have to shoot those like you normally would, right? And these happen a lot in the game, and so everybody's always scrambling to try to get those gold missile things. And then once you have one, what you do is, see that blue reticle? See the one in the top left corner? When you put your reticle, to make it simple, when you put your reticle up on somebody's city, on their base, or on their gun, see how that green thing pops up? That's because he has a missile and he's going to hit him now. So you don't have to push a different button. There, see how it locked on? You don't have to push a different button to send a missile to your enemy to attack him. All you have to do is go up and put it over where you want to destroy it, and then hit a button just like you would hit any button. So it's really, really, really fun and cool and easy to play.
All right.
I saw a deal where your bases can be repaired.
Your bases can be repaired either by power-ups or a certain amount of points you get through. Absolutely. Like when the round's over, like this is wave 4, you can see. When the round's over, if you have enough points, boom, it brings a base back.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be real fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Tanks, battle tanks.
Yep. And
now,
we've seen this. Go ahead.
One of the new things you'll see in here is flamethrower on the tanks. But look at the helicopters all in 3D now, when it makes those turns and it has shadows. I wanted to show everyone how you could go. There's achievements in this. There's leaderboards. There's so much fun stuff to unlock. I even show there's a lava level. This is, stop it here. So this is the capture the flag level.
Ooh.
So you can see right there, the blue tank is coming over to get that red flag and he has to bring it back. So if he gets the red flag and he makes it all the way back to his blue line, then he gets a point. And by the way, this is really fun when you're playing 4 players. And you can even add computer players as well. So if you wanted to play single player against the computer, or if you wanted to play 1 against 3 computer players, or a combination of real player, and you really, it's so many different options to play it.
And people have been asking.
Thanks, Rich. Bacon ice cream. He's taking off. Thank you, Rich.
Good night, Rich.
Stop by.
People keep asking, can you play as the helicopter?
So I think Pete Pete asked that first, and I'm like, you know what? I never thought of that, but why shouldn't we put that? Wouldn't that be something? Why don't we put that in as either an Easter egg or like a special thing that you can unlock? Like if you unlock every achievement, you can play the helicopter. That was a great suggestion. I'm going to put that in the damn game. And yeah, Cyrus Martin had a great comment. So I love battle tanks on triple action. And that's what this game's named after. And there's also armor battle as well, which we draw from also. But the reason I didn't call it armor battle is for folks who who don't know, they might think, oh, armor battle, is it a armor like a knight in shining armor, and so armor battle, is it some knight fighting game or whatever? So that's why we called it battle tanks, which is what they called it in triple action. But I was a huge fan of Desert Strike, and also a big fan of the old arcade game Armor Attack. If you remember Armor Attack, it was the XY graphics like Tempest, and the old Star Wars arcade, the vector graphics like the Vectrex system. And that one had that helicopter that came in and would destroy. So I'm like, you know what? Armor Battle and Battle Tanks in the original Intellivision didn't have a helicopter, but hey, I'm in charge. I can make my own rules. I'm going to put in some damn helicopters like my other 2 favorite games, Desert Strike and Armor Attack. So there you go.
There you go.
Moon Patrol, new levels here.
Yeah, I saw a new level.
Cool. Look at the plant monster there. You can shoot those too, by the way.
Yep.
Got some snows looking better. Look at that. Oh, look at all the things going on in the background. The aliens have completely taken over and mining this planet. Hey, what do you think?
Pete and I have requested that we get OEB Pete and NLG skins for the tanks.
Okay, we can make that happen. Now, one thing you'll notice too, if you go back to that skin area, if you want to back up.
Yep.
Let me see. Let me just put my phone on silent here. So one of the things that you might notice, you'll see in a lot of games. It's not really an Easter egg, but just a little interesting bit of information. Well, first of all, you'll see the Running Man skin down there, right, with the gold rims and the original disc and the Running Man, the wood grain. It's a wood grain and gold thing. So it's like it's like my mom's station wagon when we were all growing up. But the one thing is that you'll see in a lot of these games, I'm trying to get it in like almost every game. You see that flying tiger symbol? If you look in the third row, second from the left, you'll see the shark teeth. So I'm a huge flying tiger fan. That was the P-40 Warhawk. And it originated, it was called the American Volunteer Group, AVG, and that was before the United States got into World War II. This was before Pearl Harbor. China was getting attacked heavily by the Japanese, and they were going to cut off the Burma Road where all the supply would have came in to China. And so the U.S. wasn't in the war yet, so the U.S. sent over 100 P-40 Warhawks and 100 of the bravest pilots that were volunteer. That's why I call them the AVG. And they sent them over there, and they single-handedly stopped China from being completely taken over and invaded. And they were such a fear. They have the biggest kill ratio of any air combat squadron ever. a good kill ratio is like 3-1. That means for every plane that we lost, we got 3 of theirs or whatever. Their kill ratio was 17-1. Never before, matched. These guys were brilliant. And the reason I know all this stuff is me and my dad. It always comes back to family. Me and my dad, one of the things, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the chat who are, maybe our age, around our Gen Xers, who maybe had this experience as well. But back in the day, you had the Revel was, you used to make model planes, model cars. And that was something that me and my dad did a lot of together. And the first thing that we worked on together was, because it was my dad's favorite plane, was that P-40 Warhawk, where they put the tiger, or the shark mouth and eye. Now, the other interesting thing about Flying Tigers that a lot of people don't know is that Walt Disney, who didn't do a lot of art, like hand-drawn art himself. He was an artist, but he usually got his guys to do it. But he wanted to help the war effort or whatever in any way he could, and Walt Disney's one of my heroes. He actually created the Flying Tiger logo, which was a tiger jumping with wings on. Now, I'm going to show you really quick. This is on my wall. This is a that's like and it's a tin, and it's like the fuselage. And my number in baseball, when I used to play, was number 77. And so you can see how I got 77 on there. But that logo, you can see it up there on that poster too, the Flying Tiger. That was done by Walt Disney, and they painted those on all their planes as well. So you'll notice when you take the Flying Tiger skin, it's number 77 for my baseball number on one side. And on the other side, it says number 68, which was the year I was born. So I put a lot of these little kind of fun things in there. But every game, I'm trying to get the Flying Tiger symbol in there, just kind of as an homage to my dad and to my child.
You also, by the way, showed some multiplayer here.
Yes. Oh, stop it there. Oh. Yeah. So this is the first time we showed multiplayer. And so, again, let me, when I stop it, I'll show you what's going on here. So this is 4-player. So you can see that one of the ships is green, one's blue, one's pink. And the person shooting, you see the yellow shots. So the yellow person is controlling the vehicle right now. And he's, and every foot that you go, that's how your score is going up. How far can you make it in the level before your buddies take you out? And so they're controlling the aliens, the alien ships in this. And then once you die, then it'll be the blue person's turn. And then the car glows blue, and then the yellow person will control one of those things. So much fun because it's like, oh, you son of a gun, you got me. Wait till I get a hold of you. It's really, really cool. Now,
this looks fun. Little Bomberman
Here's a little history on this. So people say, oh, they ripped off Bomberman. Well, I got news for you.
Well, so what?
No, but wait, I got better news, even better than that. Stop it there. I'm curious to know, is there anyone in Europe in the chat right now? Probably not, because it's I think the middle of the night. So anyone from Europe, when you ask them, what do you call Bomberman? It was called Dynablaster in Europe. The reason it was called Dynablaster in Europe when it first came out in the the early 90s, the reason it was called Dynablaster over there is because there was a very severe, unfortunate terrorist bombing attack in Germany. And so it was a very, very sensitive thing.
Yeah, Rab saying it.
Oh, there it is. They didn't want. Thank you, Retro. They didn't want to call a game Bomberman, right? Imagine 9/11, right? And then like a month after 9/11, there was a game coming out called Bomberman or you know, Plane Smasher or a Building Smasher or whatever. Like it wasn't proper, right? And so all over Europe, the game was called Dynablaster. That's what Hudson Soft, the company from Japan who put out, called it Dynablaster in Europe. Okay. So when people say, oh, you're ripping off Bomberman, no, what we've done is the people who have been doing Dynablaster for the last 15 years over in Europe, we're just calling it Dynablaster in Europe. We could have got the Bomberman license. Why couldn't we have? It's a, you know, Konami license, I think, and we would have. But again, we want to put in these little fun things. It's not like, oh, they couldn't afford Bomberman. Really? Because I'm pretty sure Centipede and Asteroids and Pong and Missile Command and Sesame Street and Major League Baseball and Care Bears and Mattel Hot Wheels, I believe we could afford those, and those are much, much bigger names than Bomberman. So let's not say that, oh, they couldn't afford it, they couldn't get. No, we wanted to do something fun and interesting, but more importantly, we're working with the original team that's been doing the Bomberman Dynablasters game in Europe for the last 15 years. I'd rather do something original with the original people. So there you go.
That works for me. We're talking about the Saturn Bomberman and yep, with the Netlink modem. My Netlink modem's on the wall. Yep.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
sir, Walter.
This is the co-op mode, by the way. You have to collect keys and to open different areas.
Okay. It's a cornhole we've seen, and again, need an NLG
a lot
skin.
Smoother though. You can see the frame rate's a lot better. Probably not on this stream, but go and check it out. All over the world. Look at that. Boom. All these different fun things. Now, here we go. This is the only game in the entire video that is not running on Amico because we didn't have the frame rate where we wanted it to be. Nitro Derby, this is 100%. Let me repeat, 100% running on Amico. Now, let me also clear up some stupidity that's been going around from those shall not be named and some other morons. So if you go to the next screen, keep playing from here. Keep going, let it keep going, and stop it on the next one where it shows the next thing. Stop it here. Stop it there. Stop. Perfect. So one of the things, so let me tell you the history of this game, hopefully clear it up so that the dum-dums, don't have anything to, so they can move on to the next lie they want to perpetrate. So basically, here's the history of this game. The company who's doing this is based out of Austin, Texas. They're called Chicken Waffle. They do a very popular game called Baby Hands. It's a great game on Steam, on virtual reality, mobile. They have a mobile version. Baby Hands, very, very popular with Twitch streamers and everything. A very talented studio. They're huge Earthworm Jim fans, which is why when you saw Finn, he's the guy who's the head of the CEO of it. When he was in our August 5th thing, you saw some Earthworm Jim up on his wall because he's such a huge fan. So I met him over a year ago. Maybe not even. Maybe it was less than a year ago, but it was around a year ago. I met him for the first time. He was a big fan. Please, can we meet, Tommy? I'd love to pitch you some stuff that we're working on. Absolutely. We met in Las Vegas, actually. And we met through mutual friends. And because one of our mutual friends said, "Oh my God, you got to meet Finn. They're so great. Chicken Waffle's so awesome. He's such a big fan of yours. And all the stuff you've worked on, you got to." I said, "Great, I'd love to." We get together. They had a big booth too at a very impressive area at one of the Vegas hotels. And he sits down and he says, "Hey, look, here's a VR game that we're working on. And it's not out anywhere. There's a VR location-based place called Center Tech. And they're based in the Austin or Dallas area. They're somewhere in Texas. And we were doing a demo for them. that eventually we were thinking about putting in their location-based entertainment so that people can wear headsets and 4, 5, 6, or 4 people can all wear headsets and move around and use the things to steer and to use a hand controller on Oculus or whatever to steer around. And we kind of did this demo for them, and we were talking about having them put it in their location-based entertainment so that people can play it. I said, wow, that's really interesting. I love this concept. It looks cool. I love the art style. It kind of matches like our skiing game or whatever. And I said, look, I'd love this game. Could we get it exclusive on Amico? And he says, yeah, absolutely. The game's not out. No one's ever played it publicly. Center Tech, it's like we're doing it as a demo for them. It's not like, we're getting paid or anything like that. So sure, have it. And so we've started working on this game. So all of the footage you see here is running off of, there's Finn's name, I just noticed on number 4. So we recorded it, and you can see it's much brighter than previous things. And they say, oh, but the Center Tech logo is still on. Why is the Center Tech logo still on the billboards? Because we haven't changed it yet. So what? We don't, the game's not, it's 6 months from release, Well, I think we have more important things to worry about in the game right now than what is playing on the billboards. The other logo, the one you see right there, that's the Chicken Waffle logo. So yeah, we haven't changed them. So what? Because we're working on the important things like the steering, the power-ups, the different tracks, all the actual gameplay. So these are feeble-minded folks who know nothing at all about game development, who make all these false claims to try to make us look bad, and they only make themselves look bad when the truth is actually told and comes out. So again, I'll answer anything, folks.
All right. So Finnegan Fox. Now, there's one thing that we talked about, that you talked about with, and I just want to, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it because we do have lots more of this video to go. This is a launch title, you said.
Yes. Absolutely, 100%.
So,
in fact, all of the games that we showed in that trailer are going to be released in Q2. So hopefully all of them on launch, and some of them may be delayed after that. But absolutely, that's what. And I put that in the description of the video. That's why you don't see Earthworm Jim. That's why you don't see Dolphin Quest. That's why So yes, this one is for launch. And the reason why we didn't show more of this, you say, well, this is the same clip you showed on August 5th. Absolutely true. Again, playing off Amico. And the reason we didn't show this is because what we're doing right now, and by the way, we have levels of this now. I could have shown more, but we're right in the middle of redo. So we have the character Finnegan. We have all his animations done, and he's running in the game right now. But all of the level graphics are still from the old game, are still the 16-bit pixelated things, and we're changing some of the levels and all of the graphics and all that.
Frank does not like that. He says bring back the sprites.
No, Frank, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that, and that's okay. I understand where you're coming from, and I respect where you're coming from. Absolutely, I get it, but I'm telling you, Frank, when we put this game in front of younger kids, it's like a moving cartoon to them. They absolutely love it. So I push back a little bit on you on that, but I totally respect and understand where you're coming from as well. And I appreciate what you're saying for sure. So I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to debate you. I totally understand and respect you on that. But I can tell you, there, Retro Bro said it right there. My kids don't like sprite-based games. Tommy is right. And so yeah, we're really, this is a great 2D platformer. And we want this to be kids, 7 and under. might be the first platform game they ever play. So it's really important that we brought kids in. Relic had a great question. Will Nitro Derby use motion for steering? Yes, that's an option. The disc is the option. The buttons are an option for speed up, slow down, or you can also tilt with the disc. We're doing it all.
All right, we have to stop for a second. Peter?
Hey, thanks, Infinite, for the super chat. Fantastic show, guys. Awesome insight. Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Infinite. Thank you, brother.
And by the way, Chris, Peter, you guys have young kids, right? Mm-hmm. As do I. What he's saying about sprites versus, I mean, does that make a difference to you guys?
Very true. As far as my daughter, she won't get into a sprite game, but this a little bit more appealing for her. This art style. So, and she's more of a touch screen type gamer on mobile, so she can play this with touchscreen with the either on mobile or on the Amico controller. She's good.
Great.
Be up her alley. Yep.
And Peter?
I don't know. She doesn't play that many computer games, so I think anything she gets to play, she'll be happy.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
OEB Pete, welcome, my friend. And OEB Pete says, when my kids see me play sprite-based games, they said, Dad playing the oldie games again. And Frank Bell comments, if it's for kids, I get it. I thought it was more of a hardcore platformer. Frank, it really is kind of in between that, though. It isn't just a kiddie game. It is every one of us. And OEB Pete knows, because the original game that it was drawn from is a game called Fox and Forest. It was a difficult game. And this game's going to kind of be, it's not going to be as hard as that. It's going to be in between. It's going to be enjoyable and finishable. Kind of like, remember Super Mario World, where it wasn't like too impossible. You always felt like you were getting farther as you went, and it was really exciting. I'd put it maybe on the same level as that, as like a Super Mario World. So it is for everyone. We really want to try to do that.
So let me ask you this then. This is the question I don't think I've asked you yet, or any of us have asked you yet, but it does play off of Frank Bell, because I can understand that too. If there are retro gamers, older gamers that want to get some hardcore games and stuff like that, what about variable difficulty levels? Now, in the television games, you could hit 1 through 5, on the controller before the game started, and that was the difficulty.
I am not a fan of that. And I'll tell you why. Again, if my mom's sparking up an Amico machine, or if a non-gamer is sparking up a machine and it says difficulty 1 to 5, or beginner, easy, medium, hard, it's like, man. And then because remember, a lot of our games are co-op based, so it's like, how do you take a game like Battle Tanks, right, and say, oh, okay, Mom, do you want to play on easy? Well, now it's too easy for me. Mom, do you want to play on hard? Now it's too hard for you. So because we have so much co-op, I really try to get rid of that as much as we can. Now, that being said, on Missile Command, we do have easy, medium, hard.
I'm going to keep going while we're talking.
Yeah. Because if you explode a missile, you get a bigger cloud. So if Grandma wants to play and it's difficult for her, so we do have it on some games, Mike. I guess that's my
okay.
Yeah, some games, but not most of them. This is the single player game for Mom. It's all just collecting stuff. With a countdown timer. Look, can you stop it on this for a second? I gotta mention this. I'm sorry, but this is another one where people are like, "Oh, so what? Pool game, blah blah blah. Get them everywhere." No, because this game is being done. This game is being done by the biggest, most successful, and greatest pool game makers in the world. Their pool game has over 500 million. They've sold 500 million.
Who?
The name of they're called Pool Legends. The whole company is named this. And they have the biggest the biggest, most popular pool game the world has ever seen. These guys created it. We went directly to them. They're from Germany. They're friends of Hans, our Hans Ipisch, our European president. And we said, guys, could you make us a pool game? You're the greatest pool makers in the world. And they said, we love Amico. In fact, we pre-ordered one, a Founders Edition, before you even came to us. And so when you look at this game and say, oh, I can get this on the Switch. No, you can't. You cannot. Yes, you can get pool games, but to the level of the physics and the knowledge that these people have. So I just want people to look at this video really quick. Let's get some of the subtleties out here and watch the way the balls move. Look at the, you know, the physics and the way they slow down. Watch the cue ball. Look at how it's got English on it. The reason it has so much English, look where he hit it in the bottom right corner. So you see in the bottom right corner, you can choose where you want to hit the cue ball. So watch on that last shot, you'll see that dot is all the way over to the right. And people will say, oh, well, this is every pool game. I'm sorry, but the physics on this are not like every pool game. These guys have mastered it over 20 years. So look at the spin, watch. Now watch the spin you get, because see where he's hitting it. And you hit it hard.
Oh, sorry.
Start it up. Boom.
Sorry,
I mean, that's...
yeah.
Yeah. It's subtle stuff, but anyway. It's how you
Pete said other old people like me use the phrase English.
Yeah, it's English. Yeah.
Where was that? Pong.
Oh, and by the way, just really quick, you also use the touch screen, and if you want to use some of the motion controls, you can do that as well with this game. Very unique way to control the game.
Now,
there we go.
Another one. Snafu.
Hello.
So another one that I spent a lot of time on. And while I understood, I was, it was heartbroken to know you can't do diagonals in this, but I know why. I know why, because it's not polygons. It's not little blocks anymore. But you did say that. Let me go back real quick.
The heads are. This is early. Well, it's not early, but we redid the art. But you see how there's like balls on the heads, and they're clearly like round circles. That's going to go away. That's not going to be there. It's just we were messing around with the lighting of the tails, and because of the way we did the shading, that kind of thing popped up. We're like, that's fine. We'll fix it later. I think it's actually fixed already. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun game.
You'll be able to bite the tails, right?
You can bite the tails.
All right, I'll take it.
Your things can stay, like your tails stay, or I think this version is everybody has the same amount. Yeah, and so you trap people in those. So there's 3 different ways to play.
Yeah, and one of the things too is, real quick, because I missed it earlier. I'm so sorry, Tim. Is the rumble feature a true HD rumble or just simple vibration? Sorry.
No. It's you can have different variations. It's better than your mobile device, right? Because mobile devices, they only pretty much have an on or off. Ours has varying levels of rumble.
Right. So I want to point out too that there's something, one of the cool things about Snafu that you and your kids will love is that you could trap yourself really, really easily. And it's coming up in a second. There's a lot of strategy to this that people don't know. Watch the red. So the little red guy in the lower left corner,
their eyes get big when they're about to smash into each other. And that's going to animate a lot more.
That's cool. But nice. just as an aside, if he should know right there that he's going to die too. He's got to hope that the light blue guy crashes before he does so he can get out. Yeah. The dark blue guy's done. He's got the dark blue guy, but he knocked himself out.
No, he could go down. He could go down to the left. If he hits left, go down maybe, I think. No, because the red guy's going to... Yeah, he might have.
But the red guy is toast unless the light blue guy hits the wall.
Right.
So, yeah, and so he's toast. Now, I think we asked
this here for a sec, Mike.
Sure.
One of the other things that we did that's really new is that, do you notice when the snakes start glowing at the very beginning, you can actually hit up, down, left, right on the disc to decide which way you want to start.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that cool? That's something cool. That the original didn't have.
No, the original did not.
So you can kind of start to set up like, ooh, where do I want to be? See the green guy? Look, he started left, he went right, and then he decided I'm going to start down. Isn't that neat?
That is cool. That's cool. And you know, again, that's going to be a fun game. I do want to ask real quick, remind us, because you said this before, why it's Snafu with 2 O's and not Snafu with a U like the original.
Yeah, so Snafu was a it meant situations normal, all effed up.
Oh, right, I remember that now.
And so it was a military term actually, and so I don't want to have parents, kids ask their parents or one kid tell another kid, Mom, is it true that Snafu me? So I change it. It's Snafu still, but it's got the 2 O's and it's more family friendly.
There you go. All right, so these are just some kiddie games, some stuff all you can eat.
Yeah, this is funny. Charade. Right. Orange chicken. Here's the games category. What game is this? Let me see. Rainbows, the dice. Oh, it's Candyland. And of course, I got to use the Willy Wonka. Here's some. This is Liar's Dice. How fun is this? Your kids are going to love this one. I'm telling you.
I could see them yelling at each other.
Yeah, and lying to each other.
Right.
Actually, this would be a great game for our Stalker folks. They like lying so much.
All right. So Blank Slate, which is
Blank Slate. By the way, this has never ever been done in a video game format ever. I know that question came up. Has this ever been on another video game system? Nope. Blank Slate Telestrations, never on any other system. We're the first.
Okay. So Backtalk Party, we talked about that.
Backtalk Party, I'm keeping this one a secret. Super fun. One of the most popular party games we have. Here's Sesame Street. Let's pause it here if we'd like. So here was another thing that folks freaked out about.
All right, so let's just talk about it. Tell us. Forget that stuff. Tell us about Sesame Street on the Amico.
Yeah, so Sesame Street on the Amico. So we wanted to make basically educational games like this, especially when you're dealing with a company as prestigious and well known as Sesame Street. They put a lot of time and energy. They don't just let's make up some stuff that kids can interact with. They have child psychologists. They have teachers. It's a very, very much a very long and very well thought out thing in order to teach your children, whether it's the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, colors, shapes, mechanical stuff, whatever it is. They spend so much time, years of research to do these games. So when we first signed our thing with them beginning of this year, we said, hey, we have a bunch of, do you have any concepts? We have some concepts. Yeah, absolutely. They said, but we're not going to, but we can't make anything that's going to be like on launch. If your launch our launch at the time was October 10th, they're like, because it takes us so long to develop any kind of new concepts, it's got to go through our teachers and our scientists and our pigs. They said, but we have a whole bunch of games that we've created that have taken us years to create that are super popular. But you know what? They're on PC, and how many parents put their 4-year-old in front of their laptop with a mouse to play games? And so, would you be interested in taking and I said, look, here's what I'd like to do. Give me a list of all your games. And they gave me 40 games of their top selling, their most popular ones that people love. I says, why don't we do this? Let's take the top ones. Let's add new audio. So we're actually recording. We're spending tens of thousands of dollars just to get the original voice actors of Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Elmo, to go into the studio specifically to record new, let's make them multiplayer. Let's make them, let's add new audio, new levels, new graphics, add the multiplayer, add motion controls, because kids like motion controls. And then let's make all those changes and enhancements. Then let's package them in groups. So if there's 3 games that talk about how to learn numbers, we package them in a group of 3 and call it the Sesame Street Numbers Pack. 3 alphabet ones, we call it the Alphabet Pack. We have a Cookie Monster Pack, an Elmo Pack, an Arcade Pack, so many different shapes, colors, whatever. This is the Cookie Monster one. So in this one, if you stop for a second, this is one that uses motion controls. So a mom can sit down with their kid. They're using the control. Okay, Cookie Monster says, okay, now we mix the batter. And everybody's like using the motion controls to mix the batter. And then you're rolling the dough with the motion control. This isn't what's on there now. These are brand new experienced, packaged together with all this new stuff, and we're selling them at a very low price. And for people who don't even have, whose 5-year-olds even on laptops. So did these games appear in a certain form before they hit Amico? Absolutely. Because of the amount of energy and time and that all these people put into making these games, all these people who study children and who teach children, and we took the good parts of that and we enhanced it, upgraded it, put them together in packs, and that was a great way for us to get a whole bunch of really popular Sesame Street stuff out on our console. So who in their right mind, and I think OEB Pete talks about this the best, who cares? Who cares? Like, are people saying that, oh my God, the Nintendo Switch is are such idiots and jerks because there's games on Steam. There's games on Steam that appear on the Nintendo Switch. How dare Nintendo? Do you hear that happening? Yeah. No. Are the versions that we're doing exclusive on Intellivision, Amico? Yeah. Tell me where you're going to make these games that have multiplayer and motion controls and new voiceovers and new art and this and that. Show me where you can play those. You can't play them anywhere else. It's an exclusive game no matter how much they whine.
So, gentlemen.
Care Bears, by the way. Care Bears.
Well, hang on. I wanted to get so Chris and Peter, of course. Again, young kids like me with Spencer. Are they Sesame Street kids? Have they watched? Do they?
Yeah, my daughter watch it, but I think they're past that age now.
Yeah, my daughter's 7.
Yeah, mine too.
But she may go and look at it. But I agree. This is perfect. It's like y'all were saying. Who cares? There's a game for everybody. There's a game for everybody on this system. And this is a great gift for people who have younger kids,
3 to 5-year-old.
Yeah. But so I'm gonna be the contrarian. My son's 6, so not far behind you guys. I would stick this in front of him, and as long as he can do stuff with it, like you were showing, mixing the, that stuff that appeals to him.
Yeah.
And
I got to be honest with you. As we're play testing these games, I actually like this Cookie Monster one. I play it. It's fun. Like me and my wife play this.
Well, in all honesty, I want to get the reason that I'm really interested in these games too is I want to get my kids away from Five Nights at Freddy's and that stuff that they're watching. I want to, I want to get them into other things, and at the same time, do a little math homework at the end of the day, and not realize they're doing math. So,
right.
But that's why I like
my daughter on Roblox.
Can we let's quickly read OEB's Pete comment there? It just
hold on, I'll get it. He said, I had no idea these games. Is this the one? I had no idea these games were on the web. My kids have never touched a PC, but putting them on one ecosystem like Amico is a brilliant idea. Yeah.
Right. So there you go. He has young kids. They don't even touch a PC.
So good night, Indie Gamer. So you asked earlier who was in Europe. Indie Gamer. Indie Gamer hangs out with us. He is 5 hours ahead, and that man stays with us as long as he can. That is
love
brother
him.
Indie.
Yeah,
Brother
love him. Indie.
So,
thanks for showing
brother.
up and staying up with us.
All right. So I don't have girls, so I am definitely interested in Chris and Peter's take on the next game, which is, of course, is Care Bears.
Okay.
Not that boys can't like Care Bears, but typically I did not.
Fair enough. Not your demo. So you're not the intended demo of Care Bears. So with that one, again, this game appears on mobile now, but we're putting in new audio, putting in new stuff. But the biggest one on this is we're taking out all of the in-app purchases and advertising, right? And we're making it more of you have to collect things and do better in order to progress and get new vehicles and this and that. So again, and again, adding multiplayer, adding motion controls, adding on and on and on and on and on. It's a different experience. But the biggest thing on this one is no more in-app purchases. And, you buy it once and you never have to worry about it. So, isn't that cool? Who cares if a version of this appears on mobile? Who cares?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Treadpool said my wife would play Care Bears over my daughter.
There you go. It's probably true.
So now, even at 7 years old, your girls will be interested in this, guys?
Yeah, I think my daughter will.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But these games, we can sit down with the, I can sit down with my daughter and say, hey, let's check it out together.
Yeah.
And she likes it. She likes it. I mean, the big thing to me about the Amico is that it's different from, Switch and Xbox and all that, is that she can have the controller. I think she'll be very interested in the controller because of the motion controls and the interaction.
Right.
It's a different interaction with the games than you can with some of those other games. Yeah, the Switch, you have some motion stuff with that, but she doesn't really play it like that as much on the Switch. So
and
you'll get a kick out of it.
And isn't it funny though? I think Chris, you hit on something there. Isn't it funny how the folks, the certain group of folks out there, they absolutely hate the controls. Oh, these guys are so stupid. The controller's so dumb. What are they thinking? It's some old stuff from the 70s. These Gen Xer idiots don't know what they're doing anymore. Blah blah blah. And it's like, it's such a dumb attitude because, as you know, Chris, your daughter would probably look at this. And this looks way more interesting, and it lights up. The colors light up, and it's a touch screen, and I can use it as a motion. This to her, I bet, and there's cute little pictures on here. I bet that she would, if you put two controllers on a table, an Xbox controller and this lit up with the screen, I guarantee which one do you want to play with, right? Yeah. And people are so ignorant; they can't get out of their own, little bubbles. And people can make fun of the lights all they want. They're people who don't understand. They're people who don't have kids, and they're people who don't do any research to know that the lights are going to be a fun, interactive part of some of the games.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to talk about baseball. Got to talk about the baseball game.
Yeah.
So you said this was launching too.
Yes, this is launch, baby. And now you'll notice how it says early prototype build, October 2020. So
what happened?
I purposely wanted to put, and Major League Baseball, we wanted to put that on there.
Sorry.
Purposely because, so that folks understand that a lot is going to change. Look at the crowd isn't even close. The animations aren't even close. There's so much more to go with this, but I wanted to give somebody. Now, what's funny is OEB Pete and Mike, I remember you seeing this for the first time with Pete reacting, and you guys absolutely loved it. A lot of people absolutely loved it, and I got to mention their name one last time, but those ding-dongs, dingalings, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, Pat and Ian literally said that this was the worst baseball game they've ever seen. This is how biased and off the rails these guys are. They're so out of touch with a normal, with the normal folks out there. And it's true, right?
Go game, go say, see how the Cardinals are beating the Yankees? I like that.
Yeah, suck it.
Hey, can my Astros still cheat in this game?
They can. We have a special cheat code for all the Astros, you bastards. Beating my Yankees every year. Gosh.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, look. So how much helping? So MLB.
What's that? What are you reading?
Pete says generational gamers pictures creeping him out.
I know. He's like, stopped. What's going on there?
He left like an hour ago.
I know, but he's creeping me out.
All right,
staring at us.
He's staring at us. MLB, they put out RBI Baseball, but they now, are allowing other companies other than Sony to make make baseball games. And in fact, as people know, they forced Sony to multi-plat their MLB The Show. So how much work are they doing with you on the game? So let me ask this: who's developing the game?
Of the very, very amazing developer who's been around for 30 years, who's worked on so many amazing games, sports games, soccer games, big licenses with Disney, big licenses with Nickelodeon, and they begged me. They begged us. They said, "Can we please do the baseball game?" And the funny thing is, they're actually based in Australia. They're not Australian actually. They're actually from the UK originally, but they've been out in Australia. They were born and raised. The guys who own the company, and they went out and they're in Australia, based in Australia. Brilliant folks, and they said, "Please, we love baseball so much. We're so passionate about it." I'm like, really? British guys who live in Australia like baseball? It doesn't seem to be right. Like I thought you'd want to do like a cricket game or something. And but they're huge baseball fans, and that's the thing. We really match up people with their passion. We just don't go out there and say, "Hey, do you want to do a baseball game for us?" People have to love and be passionate. Every developer we have, they picked the game they're working on. And you can ask this, you might have talked to Micah about this, Michael, where I said, "Mike, you get first pick of anything. What do you want?" He says, "I want Night Stalker. I want Tron Deadly Discs. I want
what? Whoa! Stop the show. Stop.
Well, he already answered somebody's question in the chat.
Whoa. Last time
we talked about it before.
Excuse me. Let me.
Tommy's like, shit.
No, I did it on purpose.
Because he knows. So wait a minute. No. We can't.
You can talk about it. We can talk about. What do you want to know?
Is it official?
No.
Okay. Damn it! But I tell you what, if I wanted anybody to touch that game, it's gonna be Mike.
Exactly. And if we get that license, or like I like to say, when we get the license, Mike will be developing that game. Absolutely, 100%.
Awesome.
Nice.
I gotta get him back on. We love him.
But your original question though, Mike, is was are you working closely with Major League Baseball? Guys, Major League Baseball, again, contrary to popular opinion, Major League Baseball does not put their name on just anything. They don't just, let's just license out our name.
No. You're right.
Yeah, they have to be in love. And same thing with Sesame Street, and same thing with Mattel, with Hot Wheels. Those are huge. And they're very picky about who they work with. They had to approve the developer. They had to approve our design. And the guy who runs their gaming licensing department over there used to work for our vice president of business development, Phil Adam, who you saw in the August 5th video. He used to work for Phil when Phil ran Interplay, and he was a huge Intellivision baseball fan. So when we pitched Major League Baseball, and we did it in their office in Manhattan in New York City, we're sitting in the big Major League. Oh, there it is, baby. We're sitting in Major League Baseball's offices, Joe Torre's office right across from us. We're sitting it was the Stan Musial room, because they call all these different conference rooms. We were in the Stan Musial one. I said, hey, you couldn't get me Joe DiMaggio or Babe Ruth? What's up? But we're sitting in there, and they absolutely loved everything we were telling them. Yes, thank you. We want a simple game that families can play. They love the console. They love Intellivision. They love the style that we're doing. And this is all of the things they absolutely love, everything about this. And we work very closely with them and all this stuff. And again, this is so early. This is still so early. But we wanted to show a little taste. So, there you go. That's the story.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad and happy. I love sports games like this that are fun looking, back to the old days kind of, but got a fresher look.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of done with the whole simulated.
I know, right? They look beautiful.
I want this.
Beautiful, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. 2K is gonna make all those too.
Now, Chris, let me ask your honest opinion. Do you think that we should be embarrassed and that this is the worst baseball game you've ever seen in your life?
Yes, it's like the Astros cheating on the Dodgers. No, I love this. This is absolutely what I think. Not just me, but I think others want to see this. I like this. The top down, the looking at the whole field. No, I love it because it takes us back to the way we played back then.
That's right. So I think it's safe to say that certain YouTubers are completely out of touch and have no idea what they're talking about. They're by the way, they're entitled to their own opinion, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be an ass about it without even playing the game and seeing it for yourself. It's bullshit.
Hey, I've invited them many times, but they're cowards. And they won't do it. So, they want to rag on the machine without ever seeing it and playing it. That's a coward to me.
So, Peter, you're a baseball guy, and you've played baseball games. I want to hear your take.
No, yeah. I mean, what Chris said earlier is like, a simulation. I mean, it's, it all looks good, and it's, you kind of play what you look like a. Like it's a broadcast, but it's like so complicated if you don't play that day in, day out. It's
like
hard,
four
it's hard
button presses just a pitch.
And so I really like this. It's it looks like easy to play. It looks cool, and we'll have some fun and fun with the whole family, or at least with my with my daughter and stuff.
Retro Advisory Board had a great question. He says, "Are you going to have defunct teams in this as well?" And I know OEB Pete's a big Montreal Expos fan. The answer is absolutely. I want to get the Brooklyn Dodgers in there, Montreal Expos. I want to get the Washington Senators. We'll bring them all back, my friends.
Team NLG. I got first base.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I do want to get a couple of questions in real quick. Let's see if we can rapid fire them through because I still want to talk about the PS5 stuff. Hey, TJ Ferreira.
TJ's the best.
He is
I haven't
awesome.
seen a video in TJ from a while.
He's working on his secret ZX Spectrum game.
Okay. I want to see an Amico reaction video from the last videos, TJ, from the bunker. Come on now.
All right, couple of quick questions that I wrote down. Sorry if I did not get to all of them, but folks, if you leave them in the comments, Tommy does come back around and he will answer them. But Screw Watermarks asked me something very early. I promised him I'd ask, has the Intellivision team heard of a game called Bottle Rockets? Kind of a 2D shoot 'em up, except head-to-head. Not sure if it's selling well, being stuck on the Vita. So.
Oh, well, there you go. See, that's a perfect example. I got my Vita stuff right here. Look at that. Major League Baseball on the Vita.
I'll tell you who. Let me see if I can.
I'd love to find out more. Bottle Rockets. Tell me more, please.
Bottle Rockets is
I'll resurrect it.
A unique shmup fighter designed exclusively for the PS Vita. Who makes it? Gumbo Machine LLC. I've never heard of them.
No, I haven't heard. I'll have to check that out, though. I appreciate the hint there. I'll write it down in my Wonka book right here.
They're a one-man studio, software-based firm in the United States.
Okay. Bottle Rocket. All right, I'll check it out for the Vita.
Yep. Gumbo Machine.
Here, you want an exclusive?
Yes.
I have another Wonka book. That's the exclusive. But in this book, why this one's a little special, and I can't even show the pages. But well, here I'll show the last page. It has a golden ticket. There's a golden ticket in these books, but this is a special Wonka book. This is like my daily notebook for everything, and I have 3 of these that are pretty full. But this is a special one. Because look, chocolate bar in the back. This is special because in this book is where I do my writing of the Amico story. Ooh. There's a whole thing that's happening, and so I this is a bit of an exclusive, but there's a story behind. We're storytellers. You know, the Earthworm Jim guys, the team, like we love telling stories. And why couldn't a console have a backstory and have, you know, where the UI and everything kind of ties into the whole console and the family concept and all this stuff? So that's something that's very exciting. This isn't just going to be a piece of plastic sitting under your TV. There's a complete reason and storyline and everything. And this is and something that I've written and something very exciting that we'll be announcing closer that comes with every Amico. And so this is the story of the entire console and the reason behind the reason exists and all that stuff. So we're doing, you know, like I always say, I can't beat Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Google, Apple. I can't beat them in infrastructure. I can't beat them in marketing dollars. I can't beat them in technology. But where we can beat them, or at least compete with them, is in ideas. That's where we can compete with them all day long. And these little touches, like giving away a free game each year on your birthday, none of those folks would ever do anything like that, right? And we have hundreds of things like that we haven't even announced yet. And so when more of this stuff starts to come out, you know, people are just really going to fall in love with the whole thing. It's going to be so unique.
we'll talk about that next week because I know we're getting long, but there are some other. We're gonna hold on talking about the celebration video. We'll show that next week on the show.
Great.
Keep the Amico going because we need to. Other quick questions. Ryan Landis wanted to know if he's still in the chat. How many markets the Amico is launching in?
We're going to be launching in Canada, United States, and then I think 10 countries in Europe, everywhere from Poland, Germany, Italy, UK, Spain, France, all over the place.
Okay. Skylines.
And then eventually we want to get to Australia and New Zealand will be next up. Oh, and the Middle East as well.
Excellent. Skylines and Sunsets. I don't know if he's still here. Oh, and by the way, real quick, Caper Dave, thank you so much. He said he subbed. Thank you very much.
Yay.
William Barrick said he was playing Breakout while he was listening to us. Got a 65,000 sub score. Very nice. Skylines and Sunsets, if they're still in the chat, wanted to know, will games have a tutorial in addition to instructions?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. In fact, we've been working like crazy. That was one of the main things we did this week was we were working on the tutorials for Farkle, Evel Knievel, and the Spades game.
Here, I'm just going to play the video while we're talking a couple more minutes, and then we'll move to the PS5. I just want people who had to come in just to watch. They could just watch while we're talking. Okay.
Well, William Barrick asked if I pre-order, what will the cost of shipping be in Canada? William, you'll be able to pre-order in Canada, so it won't be shipping from the U.S. You'll get it right from Canada to save you some money there.
Cool. And Cyrus, that means a lot. Cyrus, you have such a cool channel. I'm glad I'm starting to watch his stuff. So coming from somebody like that,
the second I log off, I'm going to Cyrus Martin's channel and watching his video, his latest video.
Yeah,
which
you're gonna like it, Tommy. Trust me. And I want that. I don't want that Night Stalker shirt he has. So.
Yeah.
Dale Brown asked, we talked about Tron Deadly Discs. I'm still praying for it. Chances of something like Gauntlet or similar, and somebody else, and yeah, Dale, I'm sorry I didn't get to it sooner, brother, but there it is, Gauntlet.
Yes, we don't officially have the license yet, but we're discussing it. Warner Brothers has it right now, but they're trying to sell it. So they're trying to sell the Warner the old Midway stuff. So we're not sure where it's going to land, but Gauntlet we want to do absolutely for sure. And by the way, for those of you not on the mailing list, and again, please, if you're not, you want to do me a favor, go on IntellivisionAmico.com after this or while you're watching this and sign up to our mailing list. We announced this weekend or this week on Monday, we announced that we just did a bigger deal with Data East /G mode. So not only are we bringing Burger Time to the console, but we also locked up Lock and Chase and one of my favorite games growing up, Bump and Jump. And we also locked in Load Runner. So make sure you sign up to the mailing list so you can see all this stuff.
Yeah. LaPlanier, who may or may not still be in the chat, he had sent, and I got to send it over to you. I still have it. He had sent over some information about how he wanted to do Lock and Chase, and I think it's worth you looking at. So
okay, yeah,
I'm going to shoot it over. I'm going to shoot it over to you. Let's look at it.
Can you email it to me, Mike? Because
I will.
A lot of these folks will send me stuff like on Atari Age and message form or on
I've got
Twitter.
an email. I'll send it to you.
And the issue is that I get like so many messages, sometimes 10, 15 messages a day, and so the stuff gets lost. The best thing for me, email it to me because then I can get all of my people on it and everything like that. So I appreciate the reach out, but yeah, the best thing's to email it.
Yeah, I'll get it over to you.
Have you seen it, Mike?
Yes. Yeah,
I've seen it. Cool?
He's got some great ideas.
Okay.
He really does. I'm not gonna lie. Rab has it too. One of us was gonna get it to you, but I'll email it over to you.
Yeah, email it to me.
All right. Real quick, the Ren asked about when can we see bowling, golf, soccer, and hockey.
Soccer and bowling you'll see first. What was the other one? Hockey and what?
Soccer and hockey. Oh, golf.
Golf. Oh boy. The order will probably go like this. Soccer, bowling. No. Bowling, soccer, golf, hockey.
Okay.
That's when can you expect to see it? Probably, if not the end of the year, then the beginning of next year. We got to hold some stuff. We got to hold stuff back, you know.
Well, sure. So, all right. Anything else, guys? Please go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I'll get Tommy to answer them in the comments. It's 11:30 our time, and I would love to get your take on some modern stuff. So if you could hang out and talk a little PS5
yeah,
with us.
let me hang out, but I'd like to let you guys talk because I've been completely taken over and I don't mean to, and I apologize. I just get going.
Well,
but
we love it when you do. I mean, you know.
Oh, Relic Gamer says, how about darts? Yeah, darts will be on the system.
That'd be great.
You'll be seeing that by the end of the year as well. Yeah.
So, and Peter, anything? I can go back to anything we talked about earlier. So, whatever you want to.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cool. If you think of anything, we'll come back to it. And let me just see where is. Here we go. I'm going to forward this.
PS5.
Yeah. So.
I'm curious to see what you guys think. You know, one thing that's funny is the very beginning of that video where they show those little kind of specks floating around out of focus and all that. We actually have something that's somewhat similar to that in our UI, which is funny, but it's a different color and it looks different. But it's just when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. People are going to think we ripped off Sony or whatever, but I'm telling you here on the day it came out that, you know, we've had that in there for a couple months and people have seen it. So,
all right. So as everybody knows, today, I love when stuff drops on a Thursday. Today we got a chance to get our first look at the PlayStation 5 UI experience. So I've had a chance to look at it. I know Chris and Peter did. And I'm going to basically go down the row here because really there's, you know, when you start asking about opinions about things like this, it's subjective to the person and their you know, their personal opinions. So, you know, like it, not like it, you know, whatever you think about it, there's no wrong answers here and not really, you know, not really much to debate. It's good or it's not. So I'm going to start with you, Chris, and ask what your opinion of the UI for the PS5 was as we watch it on the screen.
You're going to have to fast forward because there's about 3 minutes of this.
Yeah. I'm going to skip around a little bit. So here it is.
And by the way, what I thought was funny about this, Mike, was that in the video they say, hey, we just booted up from sleep mode, which is exactly what I did, remember, on the August 5th video? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, you booted up from sleep mode. Blah, blah. Well, Sony did the same thing. Yeah. Why? Because what's boring is pressing a button and waiting 15 seconds when nothing's happening. Like, it's just, you know, it's like, right. So I thought it was funny that they booted from sleep mode too.
All right, Chris, have at it.
I watched this a little bit.
What the hell is this?
Right? Well, like this part, I watched a little bit when I was at work at lunch and during break. And what I liked about this, you see the game is still in the background, kind of pause, but then you can start going through these cards and, you know, look at some achievements or whatever that maybe you miss. But some of the integration, you know, at the bottom, you can see where you can go home and different stuff. So while you're still playing the game, you can kind of check out other things that, you know, while you're, you know, pausing the game and something that might help you out with the game and so on. So it was some cool integration that I saw in this part, and with the UI, look at user friendly and quick.
Okay, I do like that they pulled some things from other people. The progression tracker, stuff like that. And I heard a lot about the help feature where you can jump in and look for help online and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And I heard that, but that's on you have to have PS Plus, I think, to use that feature.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't read that. I need to, I'm going to pull up the website while we're talking.
The only thing is, it's very simplistic. You might run out of gas with more complicated, solutions like what you can find up on True Trophies or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you're a completionist, I mean, that's something that can help you out,
And it's also based upon the developer, so I can see Sony, the first party stuff will utilize this. Third party, who knows? Don't know.
Look how great that looks. The out of focus stuff on Sackboy. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is a neat. Yeah. That's a neat effect. Mm-hmm. Did they say anything about? And I don't want to. I'm not trying to. It's hard not to compare feature set, but did they say anything about a resume feature for these? Like, can you resume back and forth between games? I did not.
They have not. No, they have not disclosed any of that. We know it can resume the current game.
Right. So the first thing that we saw were activities. There are on-screen cards in the control center. I'm on the blog. I'm reading from the blog, so I didn't memorize this. Which enables you to discover new gameplay opportunities, go back to things you missed, jump directly into levels. That's cool. Or challenges you want to play and much more. Some activity cards will be put in picture-in-picture mode so you can view them without having to leave the game, which I think is what we saw earlier in the video. So,
right. Yeah.
So your started a voice chat. So see, those kind of pop-up things are cool because it to me it keeps you in the it keeps you in the game, it keeps you in the experience. But Peter, go ahead. I want to get your thoughts on what you saw.
I mean, for this voice chat.
Well, no, just in general too. In general, too,
for the whole thing, or what we've seen so far?
No, for the whole thing, and whatever part of this you want to talk about. And I can skip
thought
around.
The coolest part was when they showed this a little bit later on. Is when they, somebody's sharing their screen while they're playing.
Oh, here it is.
It's really, really cool.
Started sharing.
Yeah, watch your screen. So in case a friend has difficulty finding something, you want to help him out or just see what he's up to. I mean, so you can play the same game and say like, hey, because I'm a very visual guy, so it's like, how did I get this? It's like, okay, here, turn left here, jump up there.
And it's pretty cool, yeah.
That is cool. I saw pin to side.
I mean, this does definitely, like for me, all this stuff's cool for like hardcore gamers. I don't know if I actually use a lot of that stuff, but for me, and again, I'm not crapping on it, but I'm just making my personal observation is that it's a little, it adds another layer of complexity, right?
I mean, this also looks a little cluttered, in my opinion.
It looks a little cluttered.
Too many different cards are down there, and
yeah, so that would be my only kind of.
Oh, Sony got him.
Apparently.
I think Sony might have came and took him out.
Yeah.
He literally dropped out.
But I agree with Big Daddy that it kind of seems to appeal more to 12 to 25-year-olds, which is probably true. I mean, I might, if I go, let me check this out, look at it, but I may not use it the whole time. Because I don't really spend a lot of time in UIs. I try to go straight to my game and quickly go check out who's on the party chat, jump in party, and then I'm back in the game. Like,
yeah,
and so once in a while I press Y, press the Xbox button, and take a quick capture or whatever.
One of the things that they show was like the store is like more integrated, so it's not a separate app that has to load.
Right.
Which sounds cool, but how often are you gonna go in the store?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess for DLC and stuff. So,
yeah, but I mean, yeah, but still, like, how many? You know, once you're playing a game, like, how often are you gonna look for DLC?
Right. This is cool though, and I'll tell you why I like this. You see how the stuff's at the bottom now? I hated, and I don't like this with the Xbox either. I hate the when you hit, like, take a screenshot and the whole thing comes in from the side, and it takes up this much of your space. This, I like this little, take the bottom section, but if you notice, the game's still running. So you get a little bit, you can a little bit easier take your screenshot. See how you're waiting for that perfect time, and then you can hit the button,
Yeah.
but you're still in motion. I like that. I like that ability.
And then you have some editing features that you can do right there. As soon as you take the photo. But
I mean, obviously they were gonna make, this was gonna be evolution. Now we get, here's the front page, your games page, which is a little more of the I guess a little play on the classic crossbar UI.
Yeah, I hate a crossbar UI. With all the games and the folders, and you have so many games and you can't see what you have, and it's and then you put a disc in there, you cannot even see that icon in there because somehow you have moved that icon in a separate folder or somewhere. Horrible.
Yeah.
Mike Garcia says evolution, not revolution, and but sometimes that's okay. I mean, I didn't I know exactly what you're talking about, Pete, but I didn't dislike the crossbar as much. It was, more. I know they tried to keep the clutter out, and that's the one thing that they always, that the Microsoft always takes, crap for is clutter. They got rid of the clutter, but now it's hard to keep stuff on your home screen unless you pin it or put it in a group. So it's.
Big Daddy has a great comment. He says, for me, and it may just be me, and it's not just you, Big Daddy, when I play a game, I want the rest of the world to go away. That's why I'm playing. These new gens seem to keep trying to remind me that there's a huge world out there. I love it.
They're trying to integrate the social media into your game.
Yeah, it's like the last thing I want.
Should
have been like whole Twitter, so they can,
but see this screen here, Mike. I mean, and everybody, the chat and everyone, like to me, or not that one, but the one that was back before. There's just so many things. Like, look at that. Like if I'm a non-gamer, and non-gamers don't play PlayStation, I get it. But even me, like, it's like. There's so many things on there because you can do so many things, but again, I don't want to seem like I'm crapping on it because I'm not, but I'm just like, my first impression of this was, wow, that's a lot of stuff. My God, like, I just want to play a freaking game. I don't want to, I don't know.
Yeah. Ryan says it looks good to me, but until you try it, it's hard to say.
Totally.
Who cares what it looks like if it's a pain to use? And that's a good point. It may be easier looking than, or easier to navigate than it looks because, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Big Daddy and Relic, too complicated.
Yeah, it might some, but when I look at it, like what I heard that they wanted to, instead of having to, if you go to the store, you go all the way out into, a different, like a window, whatever. But there, when you have the store icon highlighted, you see the games at the bottom. But I mean, I don't know. I do like to, like when you have the games highlighted, right? And then you see like a little deal, I don't know if it's like your achievement deal block, that it shows or whatever. So there's some neat stuff in there, but for me, I wouldn't even spend that much time on it anyways.
Yeah, and just so folks know, in case they're curious, we will, the next kind of live stream that we'll be doing. We'll actually be showing off the UI. Oh, look, there's something that in television you'll never have to worry about. Those, having to navigate A, B, C, D, a QWERTY keyboard with your stupid analog stick. We can just type right on our controller.
I know, but to be fair, you could talk into the microphone on the controller too. Which is cool. That is something that's pretty cool. It is something that I know in television. I know the Amico has a microphone in the controller, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So this might be something worthwhile to look at. Is that you just talk into the speaker, into the microphone on the controller instead of grabbing for a headset to say, "Hey, great game,"
Remember when Xbox One came out with the Kinect? The Kinect is always listening.
Yeah.
And now we have a controller that's always listening. My goodness. People get nervous or not?
Well, we'll talk about that next week too, because about the party chat thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to spend some time on that. They talk about listening. And Rab says, Sony's giving people what they ask for and incorporating awesome little features. And maybe, I don't know. You never know what feedback they get from the gamers because they don't really talk about it much. They just say, "Hey, this is all the cool stuff we're doing."
I do feel like this is targeted to teenagers, like 15 or 14 or 15 to like 35-year-olds. Like I think there's that hardcore PlayStation group that I think more targeted to them as opposed to like I consider myself a hardcore gamer, but I'm not like streaming on Twitch. I don't have a YouTube channel of playing games. I don't, so I don't consider myself like a modern hardcore gamer, Right. And so I just feel when I look at that, I feel like, I just feel a little bit like, that's not really targeted to me, but I'll figure it out. I'll use it. Like I struggle through the Xbox, I struggle through the Switch, I struggle through the PlayStation. I think the PlayStation is the easiest one actually out of all of those, but the PlayStation 4. But this just looks like it adds a couple more layers of complexity, and I'm like, no, I want to make it simpler, not more. But they're adding so much more to it that you can understand where they're coming from and the audience that they're catering to. So I totally get it.
Yeah. But I think once you have hands on, it's going to be a different, a little easier to, understand what's really going on and what's really, is applicable to you, and maybe certain things you can turn off,
That's true.
You just customize it to your needs.
But there is one thing that I do like about this that I really, that I get. And I get keeping immersed in the game that you're in. So, when Peter reaches out to hit me up for a party on PS4 and I'm playing, when we were playing Ghost of Tsushima, we'd always, we'd be in party and we'd be talking while we're playing. But for me to get into that party, I hit the PlayStation button. It pulls me out of the game and into the UI. The game completely goes away. The UI pops up. I've got to navigate my way over to the party, and then I got to join it. Even if I hold down the PS button, it still pulls me out of the experience. And I think what they're doing here, which I think is fantastic, is they're trying to keep you in the experience. So when that call came through, and I saw it earlier, when that voice chat call came through, let me just find it real quick. It came in so small and tight in the, here we go. It came in so small and tight in the upper right-hand corner. Boom, started a voice chat, and there it is. So you don't have to, it doesn't pull you out of the game. And I think that is something that is, I like that. And the same thing happens, to be fair, that's something that I think they pulled from Xbox. Is anytime I jump into a game, if Peter invites me to a party on the Xbox, I hold down the button, it just simply pops me in the party. I don't even think it doesn't even really UI in. It just pops me in the party. So to get to this point on the PS5, I think this is a worthwhile upgrade.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
right. I agree. Hopefully we can also make those dialogue boxes kind of transparent.
Yes, that would be cool.
That would be nice.
So
I'm answering some questions in chat.
Oh, go ahead. We're loving that you're hanging out. Because you're usually really tight on time, and so I love any time I get you. So don't forget, man, we got to do that music show, you and me, and
totally. I'm waiting for that.
I figured I would give you a little time to get through all of this stuff, and we do it maybe like a Saturday in November when you got some time, and I could sweet talk you into trying to get Spencer to come with you.
Yeah, I could get Spencer Nielsen. We could talk about the old days, the three of us. That'd be great.
And then I could die right after that, because that would have been because you and him are, and not in any particular order, 1 and 2 on my list. So
there you go.
Him for Sonic CD and Batman Returns and Echo. You with Earthworm Jim and Spot, and I mean and Terminator, of course. So,
and I think I've told you this before, but just so the chat knows it, wouldn't it be something if me and Spencer were working together for the first time on music for the new Dolphin game?
Yeah, you said that in January, and you realize I've not had the gumption yet to get the scoop from Ed, but I'm almost ready to ask him about it, because we've had Ed on the show, and we love him, and Mr. Bones. There's a game that needs to come back. You need to talk to him about a Mr. Bones sequel.
Well, we are talking to him about the Hummingbird game.
Colibri.
Yeah. We're gonna bring that one to Amico.
Oh, that was a good Sega 32X game.
Yeah, he still owns that. He owns that 100%.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, Chris, we're gonna have to get Ed back on the show.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put the spotlight on him, and we're gonna lock him down. So, but all right. So, all in all, for me, general, I think you're right. There's some clutter in there, but there are some things in here that really look functional and that I really like. So.
Yeah, I think I think it looks better, and it's probably more functional than the PS4.
Yeah. They try to streamline it a little bit.
Yeah.
Integrate.
Yeah, and we'll see. Well, Peter, you'll see before all of us, because I think you've got your PS5 on pre-order.
Yeah.
Mine's coming next holiday. I have to say, Tommy, if the Amico had still launched in 1010, it would still be the only console I would have had this holiday. The only good thing that I know about you having to move it is it allows me to get the Series X now, the Amico in April, and then holiday of 2021, I'm getting the PS5 digital. So,
there you go.
You did help me in that. So. But the Amico would have been the first one out of the gate for sure. So, so we are just about at midnight our time, 9 o'clock your time, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9 o'clock your time. Chris, Peter, do you have anything else that we need to go over tonight? I did say you know what? Let's take 5 minutes. I did put back compat in the current topic because I do want to get you guys' opinions, and I do have the website up, I think, still about back compat. So, an interesting. This has been bandied about for a while now, and originally when back compat was talked about with the PlayStation 5, they said we've started with the first 100 games, make them backward compatible, and everybody, including me. Not going to lie, mea culpa, as I usually do. I thought to myself, man, I hope that's not the only 100 games you're ever going to get backward compatible on the PS5. And so they did clarify this last week, and here's the scoop. So, I don't know why they put two V's in there, but Ven, The PS5 launches this November. More than 99% of the 4,000 games available on PS4 will be playable on PS5. So basically, there's a small list of games that aren't playable. They've got 99% of them done, and that includes Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Now, people, and I can't believe they really had to explain this, but there are stupid people out there, so they had to explain it. This is why there's "Don't drink the shampoo" on the back of a shampoo bottle. If you have the digital version of the PS5 and you have a physical copy of a game, guess what? There's no DVD drive on the digital version. You gotta rebuy the game for digital. There's no ability for you to play. Right, there you go. Don't eat Tide Pod, kids.
That's what I was gonna say.
However, you could you could play all of your digital versions plus your physical discs if you buy the full-on PS5. This should go without saying, kids.
Yeah.
So, this was a point of contention. I need to get your guys' take on this, especially Peter. You and I know SSDs very well. PS4 titles get even better on PS5. Select PS4 titles will see an increased loading speeds on the PS5 console. Why wouldn't all of them get increased loading speeds on the PS5 console?
Well, unless somebody already put a SSD drive in their PS4 right now.
True.
So maybe that's the reason. But yeah, otherwise everything will load faster.
Right.
Than mechanical hard drive. I mean, that's
should.
The nature of that beast.
Right. They'll also leverage Game Boost, which is, of course, the improved and more stable frame rates. Now, they haven't listed any of those games yet. Some titles with unlocked frame rate and dynamic resolution up to 4K may see higher fidelity. So, your games like God of War should look better. Your games like Ghost of Tsushima should look better. Additionally, PS4 games will take advantage of PS5's new UX features. So what we just saw, that video we just saw, should overlay on the PS4 games. Right. PSVR games are compatible. However, you need to use the old controller and an adapter. Where did I hear that before?
Adapter for the camera.
Exactly.
Oh, no, for the
I'm sorry,
VR
I meant
too.
to say the old camera. Right, so you need to use the PS camera for PS4 and a camera adapter, which means I need to go get a camera adapter before they stop making them. Connect.
Adapter. Is it because of the USB-C?
Do
you think that's the... or... Because if it's just USB, then that would... They still have a USB... whatever version flavor it is.
I gotta look at the camera, but I think the camera has a specialized connector on it.
I don't think so.
You might be right. I'll have to take a look.
I thought it was just USB.
You might
USB 2.
Maybe. Because I don't have I have an original PS4 that does not have USB on the back, and I plugged the camera into the back. So my PS camera has a specialized thing on it.
I'm curious.
So, backward compatible PS games included in PS Plus or PS Now will run on PS5. Yes, you can remote play and stream. You can save your storage space. Note that PS4 games will not leverage PS5's Game Boost through streaming. Okay. PS4 game transfers, blah, blah, blah. There is a small list. Here's the backward compatibility.
One of them that's not on the list is... I need to turn off my thing.
Oh. Guess they're having trouble with the site tonight. Oh. Do you have your PS5 on pre-order, Tommy?
I do not. No, I'm actually gonna. I mean, we'll probably end up getting one for the office, but for me personally, no. I mean, I'm just, again, I'll be 100% honest. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. Like, out of all the systems, it goes for me. It goes PlayStation, probably PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, PC. That's my personal, out of my 4. So I like the PlayStation, but I like the PlayStation a lot more than the Switch. So I put the PlayStation way up here, and then maybe the Switch here, and then an Xbox here, and then PC below that. So there's a huge gap between PlayStation and Switch. It's not like, it's a toss-up, I don't know. So I'm a big PlayStation guy. And again, this is going to sound biased because of who I am and what I'm doing, but I'm talking as a gamer now. Forget who I am and what I do. I'm just talking as another gamer. For me, there wasn't enough so far. There wasn't enough for me to get excited. Like, oh my God, I have to have this day one. I looked at everything and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. Yeah, I can wait. Like I wasn't like excited to stand in line and put it down like I have been in the past. So I'm fine to wait. I'm fine to wait. I didn't get a Switch when they came out either. I probably waited 6 months. But when the PlayStation 4 first came out, boom, I was right there. When the PlayStation 3 first came out, boom, day one. PlayStation 2, boom, day one. And so this next gen has really been like a little strange for me because I just haven't seen anything on PS5 that's made me say, oh my God, I got to play that day one. I'm like, I'll wait till the hype's over. I'll wait till Christmas passes. I got enough to keep me busy before then. And probably by next summer, I'll pick one up. But I don't know. Do you guys feel that way at all? Or is that just, it's probably just me? I don't know.
No, I've seen a lot of people say the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when a lot of the games that are going to be out on PS5 and X series, that they're going to come out on the, here in the beginning. So I think next year you'll start seeing a little bit more of the next gen games, and people will probably get a little bit more excited. So there's no reason, no problem waiting. Actually, on this gen.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Peter.
And also like stressing out about getting to order that one and you have to time it just right.
Oh, Jesus.
That's like,
it's
almost like who has time
controllers are
for it,
sold out. You can't get the headphones because they're out, and it's do that.
Well, and that's the tough part is, this is we talked about this a couple weeks ago. This is the first time that 2 major companies are going to launch a console where your launch lineup consists of old games from the previous generation and maybe 1 or 2 speckled games in between. Sony's got Godfall, which I think is still launching as far as I know, Miles Morales, and I think that's it. And then the back catalog of PS4 games. Microsoft's big game that they were going to launch with, Halo, is now going to be spring or summer 2021. Right. COVID has really, and this is why people, and you've talked about this and been open about this, not to bring this back to the Amico, but you're here.
Yeah.
You've talked at length about the delay and why you had to delay, and whether,
if it's affecting Microsoft and the Halo team, then it's probably going to affect us a little bit too.
Right.
Like,
and I have said, and people have told me I was wrong, and I've said a few times, there's no shame if Microsoft or Sony said, you know what, we're going to delay our console. I honestly thought that they were going to at one point, that they were going to delay as well.
But then on the other hand, why delay for what?
I guess
people, it's like people, the hardcore, let's call it that, they will buy day one regardless if it comes with games, no games,
They want to see their old games play. They want to see Gears 5 and,
right. So, if you delay it, it's not that, this next gen is going to last any longer.
Well, this is just the weirdest launch I've ever seen. I remember the Dreamcast launch. I remember that still stands to this day as the greatest launch lineup of a console, and no one has ever touched it since.
But those were also like hard generations, you know. As the next generation, it's like it's a clear, a clear break. You get new accessories that are not, don't move from your old ones. You have new games that don't play on the old ones, and your old games don't play on your new hardware. But now it's like, at least on Xbox side, it's like you bring all your accessories over and they will work. PlayStation, it's like they will work definitely with PS4 games, backward compat games, and also like games that come out. It's like you can still run those on a PlayStation 4 and
right.
Yeah, so you're not forced to buy a new piece of hardware just to run all the new games. I mean, like you said, there may be like 2 that are,
Yeah, I'm going to be able to play Miles Morales on the PS4. And on the base PS4, it's still going to look really good.
And Horizon Zero Dawn, that's coming out, I don't know when, but and there's a couple more. It's like,
So, and that's why I'm, if we were still on 1010, this would be all I'd be playing. I'd be streaming the hell out of it right now.
And you wouldn't miss any other games.
And I wouldn't miss
because you can
any
still
other
play them on your
games.
current hardware for PlayStation and Xbox. So
exactly. So this is the night we found out Tommy is a PlayStation fanboy.
I think we already knew. I think you already told us kind of before that.
Well, and Mike, it goes back to something though. I remember you, a few months ago, you were concerned. Because you're always very honest with me, and that's what great friends do. And you were concerned. You say, "Gosh, you're gonna miss Christmas," and I'm really concerned about that because now a lot of people are going to spend their money on PlayStation and Xbox that might not spend that money or have any money left over for April. But I think, like I said, as you're seeing, and like Peter mentioned or Chris, that a lot of people are actually, and even I've been reading the comments in the thread, and a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wait. So if there was like this mad rush for all gamers and all households to go out, again, do you think a non-gaming mom is going to buy a Series X?
No.
A Series S or whatever, like instead of, so I think we still do have a great, huge, amazing window opportunity, even for the gamers, because I think most of us are going to be waiting anyway. And then if you end up saying, "Oh, well, I haven't bought a PlayStation 5 yet, but the Amico's available. Oh, it looks like fun. Wow, look at all the great reviews. Hell, I'm going to pick one of those up." Boom, they pick it up and they start loving it and playing it. Then, you know what? I'm just going to wait till Christmas of 2021 to get my PlayStation 5. So I still think we have a great opportunity to kind of, the timing to sneak in and get a lot of the gamers. But again, we're not worried because our target audience isn't even people who would ever buy a PlayStation 5 anyway. So, right. But I do think for the folks who will, I still think we got a great opportunity to grab them.
Well, you do have something else going for you that from a financial perspective, you are on target for, and that is tax season.
Yes, April 15th. We were smart. Yep. That's one of the reasons we picked it. Everybody's going to get their refund back that day. It's like Christmas part 2.
Yeah.
Right. So
Christmas in April.
Yeah, I know. My point on that was, as I was watching these guys kind of flounder a little bit with, games and maybe not being totally ready, I thought, hey, in early November, you can swoop in and grab some market share that, of people that just aren't able to get, pre-order. People are pre-ordering and there's a lot of people like the only way I got, I've got a lead on a Series X only because a friend of mine pre-ordered 2 and is selling me one of his pre-orders. That's the only way. And so, but the tax season thing is a very good. Plus, you did say on Retro Bros show that it coincides with the start of the baseball season, which could also be, you know,
a lot of promotion going on there. Trust me.
Yeah. Dale Brown, thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody who's been in the chat, man, and some of the folks who I know came over because Tommy was over. I do want to pimp us a little bit. You know, as you can see, we talk about Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. Amico is a big part of what we do. Not quite like OEB Pete and his channel, but we, you know, Tommy is our friend, and you know, we love having him in. And we get to talk about, you know, other stuff. I think this is the first time we've talked about something that wasn't, you know, Amico based. So, you know, really, it's great to get your perspective on other things and other systems and just you as a gamer, you know, and that's important for people to see too. You know?
Well, hopefully people checked out the Moon Patrol video where that we just posted, I think on Monday, where on our YouTube channel, Intellivision YouTube channel, where I go through my old retro games.
I loved that.
That.
Oh my goodness!
Have you seen that, Mike and Pete?
I did.
Or Chris?
No, I have not.
You got to check it out.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll definitely do.
Check it out tomorrow. It's me because I'm a big retro game machine collector. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have some fun. So the first couple minutes, I'm explaining the Moon Patrol contest that's going on. And then the last 25 minutes of the video, I have probably a couple hundred machines, and I typically collect generation 1 and 2. So anything from 1971 to like 1990. That's most of my, but it's mostly weird stuff from the 70s. And I go around my table, and early 80s. And so I brought out some of my most unique ones and really rare stuff. And I kind of give a little history of them all. It's really fun. It's really interesting. If you're into retro gaming, I think you'll really enjoy it. And you'll be like, what the hell is that? I never knew that existed. It's really kind of fun. So, yeah, everyone should check that out on the Intellivision YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you, Ryan Landis. He said this is his first time here. Subbed, great show.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. So
real quick, I know Dell. I don't know if Dell already left, but he did ask. He was asking Tommy about headset support on the Amico.
Oh, Dale
no,
Brown,
we don't have headset support. One of the reasons for that is with Couch Co-op, because we don't have online gaming. And so with Couch Co-op, the last thing you want to do is wear headphones because now you can't hear the person next to you. So we're kind of like the anti-headphone system almost, you know?
And thank you, Mike Garcia. He said same. Thank you so much. You know, hope you guys will continue to be part of our chat room. I hope that you all also found that the folks in our chat room, I say this every week, everybody gets tired of me doing it, but I can't speak highly enough about the folks that come in and talk because they're all respectful. They all just love games. They interact with us. Tommy, even on the weeks when you're not here and they're asking you questions, they're sending us stuff and they're talking to us, and we love that stuff. So, all right. So, 12:15. We've gone 3.5 hours. This has not been our 4-hour marathon show, but I'll tell you, I once again, you know, what I loved is we talked about those games in depth. And once again, I've learned things about those games. You have made me, once again, now more excited for the damn system to come out.
Awesome.
Oh, man. So, Peter, Chris, anything else that we need to cover tonight before we rock out?
No, I'm good. I mean, I enjoyed talking to Amico, and I can't wait till it comes out. And it's definitely going to be a system that's part of my gaming family. And it's the system that I'm going to be gaming with my family. Like, we like to have game nights. So I can see taking the Amico over to I take it over to my in-laws, and we can sit down and just have some game nights. And I'd say, hey, you don't have a controller? Get on your mobile phone, you know? So let's check. I can't wait. So. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool, guys. All right. Rock on.
Yeah, no, and same thing as Chris. Looking forward to play it, with the family, because they don't play the They don't play Xbox or PlayStation. We've played some Wii, but this will be good.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. So, all right, real quick, make sure you guys are subbed, liked, subscribed, click that bell so you know when we're coming on. Next week, I know he's not in the chat room anymore, but Daredevil Dave Dahl's going to be on, and Dreadpool might jump in. He said he was on vacation next week, so
Dreadpool.
You know, if you guys are cool with that. Daredevil Dave Dahl just got into his wrestling game, Retromania Wrestling, which I know we also talked to you about, Tommy, the guys who make from Retromania. But he's in the game. I'm so happy for him. He's going to be here next week to talk about it. Do not forget the rest of our Gamers United Guild folks. Tomorrow night, OEB Pete's going to be on with PM and the PM. Mike Garvey, my other brother, who,
Mike,
you know,
great.
It's Mike. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
Mike
is awesome, and that show keeps getting better and better every week.
Yes.
Saturday, Pete's back with Retro Rich Hayward for the Evercade, which I swear he's going to make me buy one of those soon. On Sunday, it's Amico All Access at 8 o'clock, and then TXR Podcast, the best Xbox podcast out there. And on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, Four Guys with Quarters. Italian Clowns and his crew have been tearing it up. He just had an interview with the lady who voiced the Dark Queen, Dark Queen in Battletoads, and he's got more on the way. He has been tearing it up. And then of course 7 o'clock. Tommy, a show you got to go on if you just want one night to just not even just talk whatever is Retro Renegades. Jay and Jay
I haven't heard of that.
Oh my God, you got to check them out.
Hook me up with them.
I will. And in fact, you put the kids
They do
to
live
bed.
gameplay too while they're talking.
Yeah, you just don't have the kids around while you're. Yeah, but they're totally
Okay.
great show and bunch of guys, and of course Jay Williams is our graphic design for what you see on the screen. And then back to us on next Thursday night at 9 p.m. We will hold off on some of the PS5 stuff we didn't talk about this week. But Tommy, my brother, my brother from an Italian mother.
Yeah, that's right. I call you my brother from my brother from another Jewish mother.
Yep.
And I'm brother from another Italian mother. There you go.
It is always good to have you on, brother. And we love you, and we your energy continues to be infectious. Over the week, like I said, over the weekend. Sorry, my yarmulke's coming off. Over the weekend, if
mine too.
If you have some time, we'll get your OBS squared away for your live stream next week.
Awesome.
And see, Pong said my seat's reserved. See, these guys, these are just so great people.
Yeah.
No, chat's great. Welcome to everybody to the NLG family for subbing today.
Yeah. And
try to greet everybody, but if I miss you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Peter's the master of the chat room, dude. He is definitely the master of ceremonies when it comes to the chat room. So, but thank you, everyone. We will see you next week, and play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.
Yep.